There are people's opinion about you. They are not your reality. And that I love dissenting opinions. I love to have a conversation. And for me, it's something that I do and do very well. One of the things for me, which my own is that if you insult me when I have your time, I will give you bass boost. You understand? I grew up in the ghetto. So we ate insults for lunch where we didn't have anything to be eating. And before I go on, I see one request is coming in. Before I go on, is to say, please, nothing is off. Anything you want to talk about, feel free. I've never had any whatever. If you want to even come and insult Aisha Yesufu, I beg, feel free. Who insult help? I don't have any reservations on that. I don't have a thin skin. I have a very thick skin. And growing up where I grew up and having to cross the hurdles that I did, that is something that was a necessity. But also to say to everyone that be very mindful of the fact that I am self-unemployed. I employ people to do the work for me. I'm jobless because I pay people to do my job for me. So I can literally wake up in the morning, actually do nothing. Since I've been here, I've been in my study. The only thing I've had to go and do is prayers today. And of course, 6 p.m. I have a class that I need to attend. I will go off. So don't waste know your calculation. If you're in the office, you're doing something, be able to, or you have to be at your business, managing your business, be able to calculate those things. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not a business person. I put system in place, and there are people who take care of that. So my business is able to run with or without me. And also to give a bit of background before I do take in the requests that I see that are coming in and people have that conversation, it's that when I see people, because I saw a tweet earlier as I was going off to go and pray, and I just, just noted it because I'm going to come back and reply that to it, because it was basically saying, we know, yeah, you didn't take any money, you didn't eat any money, you weren't paid anything, but you were used as Chibok girls were pawns and you were used and everything. So you need to come and apologize and take it. And I'm thinking, oh, wow. Okay, NSAS. It was said that NSAS was used to topple Buhari. And people even said that, monies were paid. I think I saw some ridiculous something where somebody was saying, is it $50 million? I'll be $500 million. I don't even know. The same thing we had when we were in BBOG. They said we pay $500 million. I'll be $800 million. I'm like, $800 million enter Nigeria economy. And you people didn't feel it. BBOG that didn't even have account. We spent our monies, members of BBOG, we spent our monies on BBOG. And I can categorically tell you, I spent millions on that campaign. And for those, that's why I'm daring the people that have been doing investigation all those while, those that have checked my accounts. By the time you check 2014, 2015, 16, and all of that, especially when I was the coordinator there, you will see the monies that left my account. I didn't have any money coming in from anybody. Any BBOG money you saw was leaving my account to go. Thank God for some of them. I labeled them what they were for the things we needed, whether T-shirt, whether we're going to do something. And most times, what were our needs? Our needs weren't that much. We always said, come, it's your empathy we are looking for. It's not your money or whatever. Thank God for that decision that was made. And I must credit that to Dr. Obieze Kwesile, who categorically right from the beginning said, no, we're not going to accept anything from anyone. And in terms of my advocacy and everything, even my organization, Citizens Hub, please feel free to check it anytime, any day. Any kobo that was spent there was spent by Aisha Yesufu and her money. And I can tell you one thing for me, basically, and this is for me. That's why I tell people I love investigation. I love people because it gives you opportunity to fans where we say I no go even talk on a normal day. If I was not financially independent, I would never have spoken up for Nigeria. And I've said this number of times, and I don't miss word. So that was why you didn't hear about me. You didn't hear an Aisha Yesufu until after my 40th birthday, when I decided, okay, now myself, I don't become the problem with my silence, and I needed, to focus on Nigeria. So that was when, I started that focusing. So the first thing I did was to work on my financial independence. I didn't, how will I come and be speaking for you when I don't have money to take care of my bills? I won't. So for me, financial independence, and I do teach financial independence also, it's not as if, you have so much this, it means that I can afford not to work and I have passive income that will take care of my expenses. As I'm sitting down here, there's a tenant somewhere who is planning to pay his or her rent. The person will pay, I will have money. I think some years ago there was a guy who was insulting me on Twitter. He turned out he was one of my tenants. Omo, he's my oga as far as I'm concerned, because he's the one that pays my bill. A lot of people can say, oh, what did you do to him? I'm like, what will I do to him? I don't have anything. At the end of the day, I think his rent then was 1 point something. He was in a 2 bedroom apartment at that time. I think sometimes like 2015 or 2016, I'm not even sure now. It was 1 point something. He will shall give me my 1 point something at the end of the day. He doesn't even give me directly. There are agents. There are property agents who manage all those things and give it to me. So that's it. And for those who keep, when I see some people who talk about bring back our girls and Chibok girls, and they are like, oh, the weapons. I say, no, wahala. All of us are being abducted now. Now, are we not paying? Are we not paying, what do you call it, a ransom? Yeah, that's it now. When Chibok girls were abducted, Nigerians decided that, oh, lives don't matter because there was an incompetent person who was president, who everybody, oh, it's now Obama's fault that Jonathan was removed. It was not Jonathan's fault, oh, that he lost 5 governors. Nobody, I think they even said at that time that no, I think was it Fashola or who was it that said at that time nobody in the world had lost 5 governors without an election. It was Obama's fault. It was Obama's fault that he was fighting governors for who will lead between Jonah Jang and Rotimi Amechi, and it infuriated people. It was Obama's fault that only one ticket was provided for whatever. Hi Joe, I see your hand. It was Obama's fault that only one ticket was done by what's it called, PDP. All of these are Obama's fault. No, it was BBOG's fault that Jonathan was taken away. Fantastic. The same way that answers that you're so proud that you partook in, and you were tear gassed, and you were probably hit, and you probably some people had to run out of the country. Guess what? They said that it was paid by US or the West or whatever to take out what's his name, Tinubu. That obedient movement that you're so proud of that you did, which is all of these things fantastic, by the way. Obedient movement that you're so proud of that you did in 2022. You put your life on the line, you put your money on the line, you did a lot of things. Guess what? They said that you did it to remove, and now they haven't said that you Peter Obi ran so that Tinubu can come in. They say you are the reason why Tinubu came in. So you see, all of these allegations and accusations, that's what people do when they don't want to take responsibility. And I'm going to open the line. Please feel free to say whatever it is that you want to say. No even fear, no fear anything. But be ready to say, when you give the boast, you will give the bass. You will receive the bass. You understand? It's very clear. And for me, it's always about facts and figures. Anything I say, I always say to people, this, don't believe what I say. Go and Google it. Go and just go on and say this, and check whatever it is that is out there. There's someone called Village Headmaster. Hi, Headmaster. Yeah, I think I'm making you speaker now. After that, there's somebody called Top V Media. I haven't done space in quite a while, so okay, yeah, Village Headmaster. Go ahead, please. You are a speaker, I think. Then the next is Top. Let me just write it down and see how. Hi, Village. Is it Village Headmaster?
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Village Headmaster, yeah. Well, I don't want to take much of your time since you said it is an open space. Sorry, am I still on?
Yeah, sure, you're on. But make it succinct because there are quite a number of people that will want to. Probably we need a timer to make like 2 minutes or something. Thank you.
Okay. I just wanted to ask a question. I don't know. Some people are, looking forward to 2027 already, and I would like to know the people that are projecting OB, projecting GG, and Tinubu, of course. I don't understand what that is about. We are currently buying fuel at around 1,000 or so, yeah? And these other 3 people that are being projected, including Atiku, are people that said they would remove our fuel subsidy. So I want to know, Madam Aisha, what is the plan of those people to tackle the current price of fuel to bring it down to the level that should be affordable for the Nigerian people? I'm not too interested in the gospels that's going on now. So just answer
Well,
that.
you're
That's my
asking
own
the
question.
wrong person a question. Why are you not asking Obi, Atiku, whatever? Why am I answering for them?
No,
Maybe you
it's a
need to
normal
rephrase
space,
it in
ma.
another.
That's what
You're
I'm saying.
saying
No,
how?
I'm asking this. You can answer on behalf of Obi,
How
okay?
am I? No,
Answer
how?
on
Why
behalf
should
of
I answer
Obi.
on
Leave
behalf of?
Atiku out of it.
No, no, no. So hold on. I'm not answering on behalf of anybody. There was never a time that I was anybody's spokesperson. That's one thing I've never done. If you want to ask me, if you need to rephrase it in the way that it's something that have I can answer, you do it. But when you're asking me how they're going to tackle it, I mean that's the question you need to ask Obi. That's the question you need to ask Atiku. That's the question you need to ask Tinubu and all of them. They need to sit down. Just like I'm doing this now, they all need to come out and sit with every one of you, every one of us, so that we ask them questions. Because this is the thing that happens in Nigeria. We hold our fellow citizens accountable, but we don't hold people who say either they want to rule us or have ruled us or are ruling us accountable. We must never be feel free about that, because there's an Obi somewhere. Ask him. There's an article somewhere. Ask him. There's a Tinubu somewhere. Ask him. You must never be comfortable with somebody speaking on behalf of anybody. No. If I'm running for president today, ask me that question. I will answer it. But right now, you need to ask those people that need to answer those questions. Except if you have another one that is directly for me.
Okay. Okay, thank you, thank you. I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying.
Okay.
My question is
Okay.
coming from a position of being someone that is into politics. I have my preferred, political candidate, which is Omoyele Sowore. If someone should ask me, how does Omoyele Sowore intend to tackle the issue of the current price of fuel or the fuel subsidy, problems, I would know exactly what to tell that person. And I believe you're a supporter of Peter Obi.
Oh,
You're just a
absolutely,
supporter.
yes. Absolutely. I'm a supporter of Peter Obi. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm asking you, as a supporter of Peter Obi, you should be able to know the plans that this, person has to, tackle the current price of fuel. Because I've seen several tweets where you were, lamenting about the price of fuel and all those things. So at least if you are presenting somebody an alternative to the current government, you should be able to know how that person intend to tackle the current price of fuel with the fuel subsidy issues and all those things. That is why I'm asking. But if you're unable to answer that question, it is fine.
Okay, so village headmaster. So you see, the difference between me and you is that you are ready to shield the person you're supporting. I'm not ready to shield the person I'm supporting. Peter Obi is answerable to you, and you should stand and ask him. So you see what you're doing. You want to be a mouthpiece for Omoyele Sowore. The way we have people who are mouthpieces for Tinubu, for Buhari, for all of them. That's the reason why when you want to talk to them, they will tell you no. They will be the ones to come and be doing defense. If you notice, I've never sat down to call out anybody or defend Peter Obi against anybody. He is vying to be a chief servant. You understand? He is your servant. He comes out, you call him out, you ask him, you say, guys, sit down here. How are you going to do this? Aisha Yesufu will not answer for him the way you village headmaster is ready to answer for Sowore and shield Sowore from whatever it is. And this is the kind of mentality that we have when people get into offices. Then you now begin, because you were the one that was speaking, he wasn't speaking. Then you now begin, oh, when they are holding him accountable, right? No, you guys dare not hold him accountable. No, I don't do that. Peter Obi should come out. He's the one who wants to. So anytime he's on space, because he does space, I think amongst all of these people, Peter Obi is the one who does space regularly. I will not shield anybody. I'm not shielding anybody. If you have a question you want to ask on how fuel is supposed to be tackled, because that's first of all not the conversation that I have on my timeline. But if you have that and you're asking of Mr. Peter Obi, then you ask Mr. Peter Obi, not Aisha to represent Mr. Peter Obi. And I'm just trying to think, when was it that I lamented over fuel price? I don't know whether you met me as general you or you as Aisha Yesufu, because I think a lot of times I've always said that when there's issue about fuel, I always have a full tank because I have a husband. the kind of husband a lot of you people call Sims, who takes care of his wife, ensures that I don't lack any of those things. So even when there's fuel scarcity or whatever, my tank is always full. So they sometimes it's when the fuel they had, I mean they even get full tank. I know they get anything. So I can't remember that lamentation. But anyway, let me move to the next person. I think that's top V Media.
Please, Aisha, let me quickly go. Please,
No, you can't quickly go. No, absolutely not. Can you hold on? You need to hold on for the next person. It's not about quickly going. Yeah, I will give you your time. It's the time for top
No,
V Media. After top V
no,
Media, then it will be you, Ade.
let him go. Let him go. Maybe
Okay, you are ready to. Okay, then Ade, go ahead. Top V Media has graciously given us
Thank you
his
so
or her
much,
space.
Top. I appreciate that opportunity. I'm sorry for the bumping in between, but I just wanted to. I'm so surprised that I could agree with Aisha today. A lot of people don't. I'm not talking about your last conversation with Villagers, but I'm talking about the issues that brought you on this space. A lot of people forget where we are coming from. They just feel that, especially many of your followers, they feel that. Nigeria as a country started 2015, which was not so. There have been history behind it.
Ade, sorry, I'm so sorry I have to be bumping into you now. But just so while we keep the conversation, because there will be time there's someone else that needs to speak. Also understand that psychophancy is about supporting government, irrespective. It doesn't matter whether we agree. Sometimes we go okay. Whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
So for now, let's address what brought you on this space. I'm sure that it's not about government or anything that brought you on this space. It's about tackling the issue Odeyi and the rest raised. That is the point that's why we are here, and I think we should stay on point. Thank you so much. So now, many people felt that, okay, maybe Nigeria was a country started 2019, but 2015, that is not the truth. We all knew the background of what brought us here today. The country was sinking very, very fast. The country was already running into recession even before 2015. So the country was losing on the front. It was glaring that the country was losing the battle against Boko Haram. It was a glaring call that, because at that time, Abuja was already going up in flames. Just imagine if the stop had not been put into the country being bled at that time. Because you can see and sit back and say, what is the price of petrol? What is the price of the rice? What is the price of this? There's a cost to everything. You either want to say, okay, let's keep on eating 8,000 naira rice and let Boko Haram take over the country. We don't fight it. We should let whoever is the NSC of Jonathan.
Hello everyone, thank you so much. Okay, this one I'm on Twitter.
We all know this history.
So if you want to join, you join me on Twitter
and then deviate from what the point is. So there's a cost to everything. You have a choice. At that time also, refinery was already packing up. It was glaring. Today, refinery is back. Today, Boko Haram has been pushed out of Abuja. At least if you don't know any other place, it has been pushed out of Abuja. Today, the infrastructure, Second Niger Bridge that they have been campaigning with since 1999 is built. And many other things are being put on ground. London or Rome or whatever you call it was not built in a day. But we have to start and keep building. If you are looking for magical one to fix the whole country, immediately, no country is built in 10 years. That's just the reality. You keep building, and then you get there. Then last but not least, just to save your time, these same people that are coming, I'll just talk about Obi a little bit, that are coming to come and sell Obi to us. Obi didn't conduct a local government election. When Malame Rufai tweeted this morning, I said, many of the things you are asking for, healthcare, this and that, they are on primary school, they are all under the purview of your local government. If local government doesn't work, you are just wasting your time saying you want somebody in Abuja to come and fix your street road or fix your primary healthcare or fix your primary school or do all of those things. Get the local government working, get your people to come back to begin to ask questions at the local level. That's that. Therefore, I want to also appreciate President Trump. I've been saying, if it's not for President Trump that stopped funding for a bit to some of the civil society today, many of these exposes that is coming out, how people are eating money from protests and all of that, we will not know today. Let me stop there. Thank you, Aisha. I appreciate it. Enjoy.
Okay, so well done. I hear all that you say, but one of the things that you seem not to realize is that is the absolute failure of APC that has led to people even deodorizing what is called Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was a failure, no doubt about it. Buhari was a times 100 failure, and Tinubu a times 1,000 failure. So when you see people look back and still say, oh, what was it that was going on? It's because of that absolute failure that it is, right now. You talk about refinery working, but NNPC, I think I just read the report earlier on, NNPC is still out there importing lots and lots of fuel into the country. I see your flag, it has Canada, Adi. The nonsense that are being done here that you guys are accepting. Village headmaster, you've already spoken. Please, I'm on now. Thank you. Can you please mute? The nonsense that happened in this country that you get, it wouldn't happen, over there. You talk about refineries, billions and billions of naira have been spent on these refineries that are not producing, that they come out and say it's working. If you're talking of the killings that used to happen, the what do you call it now? Insecurity that used to happen. Yes, there was a lot of insecurity in Abuja. But guess what happened? Jonathan in February, well, not just in insecurity, not just in Abuja, but the whole of Nigeria, especially the Northeast, right? Jonathan in February, when election was postponement of election. No, election was that presidential election was supposed to be in January and it was taken to March 28. 6 weeks was done. They said because of insecurity. At that time, Jonathan started fighting the insecurity. That was when a lot of people said that, oh, so this insecurity that was the way people were playing with, so you could actually fight it. So he had done within those last days that he was living, almost all the local governments that were under the this thing of what do you call it, Boko Haram were recovered. Abuja had gotten a bit of sanity and all of that. When that continued, when Buhari came, and then before you know what was happening, a lot of the military men who were in charge of winning the war were killed off. I think I remember there's one Lieutenant Colonel Abu Ali. It's one of the most popular ones we remember. And then it went on. Insecurity is as bad as anything can be right now as we're speaking. But there's a media blackout, just like there was a media blackout in 20, you know. Oh, hello, can you guys hear me? I had a call coming. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. I had a call. So just like what was even my train? I have the insecurity is as rife as anything. The other day there was a plane crash that happened in Washington, D.C. The illegitimate president, the person who rigged election and got himself into office, the same rigging of election that you guys don't have in Canada, where you can walk in and vote peacefully and go back. You can even call your prime minister to resign and he will resign. He did immediately it happened. He did a tweet to condole with the Americans for the loss of their citizens. But Nigerians have been killed. Nigerians have been fried. In short, 100 and something that were buried in within a weekend or within some days in January in Chibok that were killed. Some of them were slaughtered. Some of them burnt. Everything. But Tinubu never put out anything. So when they are talking about Jonathan, please don't come with your Tinubu support and your Buhari support. Because if APC did not worsen, fail so woefully, nobody will be referring to Jonathan to the extent of deodorizing him. Just the same way that if Tinubu did not fail and fail woefully, nobody will be trying to, deodorize, what do you call him now? Buhari. Yes, Rome was not built in a day. London was not built in a day. Nobody is looking for magical one, but definitely the kind of magical one that was done in terms of, buying a presidential jet for yourself when your people are suffering, using 21 billion to build houses for yourself, building houses for judges. These are things that magical wand didn't need to happen if it's not happening, for the people. Using 3 billion naira to go and verify a register that APC had put together just for the sake of verifying it, and having people, especially your current minister of interiors, his company funded by him and his wife, They are the major shareholder. He has removed his hand as the director. Is he director or signatory? They got over 300 and something, or 500 or 800 million, naira. So when we are talking about this thing, let's stay about facts. See, for me, I say this and I'm going to say it again. I don't care about who you are. I don't care about, even me, myself, I hold myself accountable. I'm waiting for the day, by the grace of God, that Mr. Peter Obi will be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I will bumper to bumper hold him accountable, drag him like small jail if he does anything out of the way. I think a lot of people just focus on their love for whoever it is that is what do you call it, whoever it is that is president. I don't care about what other people, what the nation as it is. So because you've supported someone, you have to keep supporting that person. No, it's about the generality of people. Before I go on to Top View, who had graciously allowed Ade, to speak, I'm just going to say something on this issue of bring back our girls, on the issue of Chibok girls. If in 2014, it was my daughter's school that they went to, and they packed children, my daughter included, I won't talk. I will not need to talk. The whole of you will be the ones talking. Do you know why? Because my daughter was in the same class with the son of the vice president, the El-Rufais of today. Who is not there? Is it the ministers? Is it the what was this one? The Emir of Kano? Who was it? All the politicians, all the governors, all the top wigs. Our kids were in the same school, the Regent Secondary School. For me, when I came out to speak, was the anger that their school was protected. There was a day that I fought Nigeria police. I think that was 2016. I even had to go and I had a meeting with the IG of police because they did one way. They were going to my daughter's school. And they were like, oh, they were an emergency. I said there was no emergency. The only thing that was happening was that there was a sports day. And of course, wives of governors, ministers, whatever, they were all coming. So you people decided you were going to now, give them special treatment. They were protected. They had guards, everything. And my anger was the fact that if my daughter can have that kind of protection, then every Nigerian child should have that kind of protection. So when I came out for Chibok girls, it wasn't because I needed a voice or if it was my time. No, it's because the same kind of life that my daughter has is the same kind of life that Chibok girls have. Today, my daughter was 12 when that abduction happened. Today, she has graduated, she's working, but some Chibok parents are still waiting for 82 of their children to come back. And here we are, a decade after, people sit down in their sanctimonious thrones and are saying that, they were used as pawn, they will remove Jonathan and Jonathan's generation from that Aso Villa, if that's what it takes. Nigerian lives must matter. Your life must matter, not only the lives of who is who or who has connection or who knows somebody or who has money. Because that's what you're saying. People are grieving their children instead of holding the person who refused to be accountable, who didn't speak, who refused to say anything when those children were taken away. 19 days. It took Jonathan 19 days to say anything about Chibok girls after BBOG had been on the street persistently. And here we are, 10 years after, we still don't think our lives matter. The same way you think that, they paid people to do something for BBOG is the same way others have said they paid people to do something for NSAS. It's the same way others have said they paid people to do something for Obedient Movement. At the end of the day, it is the common man who has no connection, who has no name, who is not known for anything that continues to suffer. While the same people, the same Atiku, you say you are angry with BBOG. The Atiku is the one you are clapping hard every day. You need him to be president. So that you will reward him. He did. You forgotten he removed Jonathan. The same Jonathan has been in the behind of Buhari and also in the behind of Tinubu now. But you were here a decade after. You're angry at your fellow citizen because they dare to stand up and make demands on an incompetent government and a very corrupt government. That Buhari and Tinubu has worsened after is not a reason for us to forget that Jonathan was the worst of his kind at his time. I see people here, they say to me, and Tinubu, now, well, in 2014, there was no Tinubu. Tinubu neither was there a Buhari in 2014. What we had was Obasanjo, was the other ones, Yaradua and the rest going up, and things had worsened. That is why APC would come out and had everything to make all of those campaign that they did. I saw somebody brought out something, say, oh, 216 naira, and that APC were campaigning, dollar is now 216 naira, but now that the dollar is 1,800 naira, the people that campaign when dollar was 216 naira, they are quiet. What about you? Yeah, you now campaign when it is 1,800 naira, so that by the time it gets to 10,000 naira per dollar, then they will say, why did you campaign for 1,800? Once upon a time, dollar was less than that. The first time I bought dollar was in the year 2000. I was going to Dubai because I was doing business, my business started with going to Dubai, buying things and bringing them to Nigeria to sell. 24 years ago, it will be 25 years this year. I was buying dollar 103 naira. Within 1 year, it went to as far as 130, 140. They are all on Twitter. Check my DC, you see where I put it there. So if I became outraged that dollar went from 100, that was it. As of that time, I think dollar was 150, 160. All of a sudden, it jumped to over 200. People were angry. They used it as a campaign. But instead of us to be angry at the people who are failing us, you're busy because we have no guts. We can't hold them accountable. We're busy attacking ourselves. Top View Media, go ahead, please.
Aisha, don't stress yourself too much.
Stop. No, me today, I don't make it. Even somebody today, I get time today.
You know, when you are angry like this, I feel like the way I am inside me right here, the way I'm boiling because of what Ade said just now, and looking at the flag in his profile, it is a very big shame to any Nigerian living any part of the world that looked at our country, the situation in our country, and you say that things is going well, probably because you are supporting one man because he's from your region, or because you love him, or because you feel like what he's doing is right. And we are living in a foreign land where government, everything works very well, where there is a functional government. And you look at all those things, and you now look at our country where people are going through hell. You say things are okay. Let's say if Jonathan failed, then what is happening now? During Jonathan, the Boko Haram was like, people were thinking that Jonathan is so weak that he cannot fight them. He cannot chase away Boko Haram out of Nigeria. Oh, they say, okay, when Buhari comes in, Buhari is a military, this one, he's going to do that. Now, when Buhari came in, the killings it tripled, because I can remember over 500,000 were killed in Benue in one night. It was during Buhari's regime. Buhari finished Nigeria. Nigerians were crying, God, please, we are dying. Now, another person came in, called Tinubu, said that he's going to continue from where his Oga stopped. And he's pushing Nigeria to hell. And someone who is living abroad is telling us here that they chased Boko Haram from Abuja. It's not the same Abuja Kaduna railway that the Boko Haram killed people using the train, finished everybody there. Was it not the same road? Where has they chased the Boko Haram? You know, the only place I blame that good luck Jonathan is that most times I ask myself, do we actually have leaders? These people, do they even have any plans before they come to context? How can a president of a nation is sitting in the office, one set of people, one group of people just terrorize your country, terrorize your citizens, killing people? I just discovered one thing. It's like most of our leaders in Nigeria, they don't have humanity, but don't have compassionate hearts. You cannot try. You are living in abroad. You cannot try that shit with someone like Donald Trump. Even that you are okay. Just
okay, I see a question here.
South Africa.
Maybe we'll talk about that later. I'll give one of Usman Yusuf.
Now we will see our leaders will sit on the as in they will be in that seat as a sitting president, Nigerians will be suffering, killing, starvation, okay, imagine petrol. You are living abroad. How much is petrol in the country where you are? These are the commonest things in every part of the world. Every citizen enjoy petrol. You can buy petrol as little as 2 naira, 3 naira of that country's currency. We suffer. We cannot even boast of petrol in our country. We don't have electricity. So many things going wrong. And someone who is living overseas, we see all the good things happening. 24 power supply. 24 hours. We never had a night of darkness in abroad since how many years they have been living overseas. Nigeria every day is in and out. We don't have electricity. Instead of us we living overseas, to stand up and push this campaign against this injustice happening in our country, this bad leadership. Every day I cry because if I remember the country where we're coming from, the way our people are suffering, the kind of starvation, the kind of pains most people in our country today, they have never enjoyed any good thing that God has ever created. They all keep suffering. Since they were giving birth to them in Nigeria, they keep suffering. Some of them have suffered 20-something years. Most of our parents, they have never in their life enjoyed any benefit from the government. Most villages in Nigeria today don't have electricity. For over 50-something years, they have never seen electricity. And someone who is living overseas, you will have that effrontery to say that Tunumbu or APC, that they are doing very well. Chibok girls that were adopted, Aisha is just saying it now, that till today, most of them are not yet back. And they will have government, back-to-back government. They don't want to do anything. Does this stop? Let me tell you something there. If you are a compassionate man, the way you not allow your daughter or your son to be killed or to be adopted, the way you cannot sleep is the way you're supposed to have that feelings when another person's child is adopted for how many years. And you cannot be a sitting president. These things keep happening in your country. They keep killing people. When you wake up, I just saw a news where in Ebony State, they said herdsmen just killed and burned down one community.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of atrocities keep happening in our country. Then we keep doing tribalism. We keep supporting evil. Those evil happening in our country that it can never happen in another nation. Even the nations where we are living, we never experience such a thing. But in our own country, because you don't have conscience, we'll come and support leaders that are so wicked, so evil. Thank God, Aisha just said, anybody that want to contest, you come to this place, we will ask you a question, whether it's P2B, whether it's Showole, whoever you want to be, you will come here, we will interrogate you, we will ask you. Because if you are not angry, if you are enjoying in other man's land, I will tell you the truth, there's no place like home. We need to build our home. We need to build our country. We have only one country, Nigeria. We need to build country. We cannot continue supporting evil. Brothers, sisters, can't we just kill this evil spirit in our blood? We blacks, why are we so evil? How can we live? We are enjoying everything overseas. Every good life. People can get loan, car loan, get house loan, go to school. Every good thing is happening. Trump issued a tariff to Canada, to Mexico, to
China.
Canada and other ones. Immediately, their president, they retaliate. Now, they now come to conclusion. They now come to Trump now cancel his own. They also cancel their own. Because of what? They know what they can be able to achieve. If you are giving us tariff of 25%, we give you also. Because Canada, they are proud of themselves.
Okay.
Mexico is a woman, is the president. They are proud of themselves. They know that whatever you have in your country, we also have in our country. You need us, we need you. You cannot just wake up and give us high tariff. We also give you the same.
Okay, we'll look into that, Steve. I need to start up I live with Aisha again.
Have working government.
Okay, top view.
But our country, what's happening? If Donald Trump makes such order, we'll be at his mercy. We'll beg him for him to help us. While we have talented youths, we have talented country that is blessed by God. All Nigerians are very talented. There's no single Nigerian on earth that does not have one talent. God bless us with wisdom, bless us with every good thing. Nigerians are wonderful people. We are God blessed of talents, but our government refused to help us to bring out those things in us. We go to other people's turn to slaves, working day by day, 24 hours, 48 hours, just for us to survive. Some people do 3 shifts, 4 shifts for them to survive. Is it a good thing?
Okay, thank you so much, Top V Media. I think you've said a lot, and yeah, totally agree with you in the things that you're saying. I had to give you more time because you were gracious enough to allow someone else to have gone before you, and just like you mentioned earlier on, yes, I also saw that report, Ebonyi, community, sack, people killed, places razed, and I don't think the person who rigged the election, the former governor of Lagos State, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has said anything about that. And I'm sure if it was in Canada that something like that happened, and is it Justin Trudeau? I think that's his name. Refused to say something. By now, his resignation letter in short, he has already. They would have. That place, whole place, will be upside down.
Immediately.
So I wonder why. For me, the thing is this: our lives must matter. And one of the things we must also understand is that everybody has a right to support who they want to support. I've never had a problem with that. Those who support Tinubu, they absolutely have a right. It's their right, it's their opinion. They have a right to do it. Those who support whether Atiku, Peter Obi, anyone. And when elections come, people have a right to vote wherever they want to vote. My problem is this: don't rig the election. Elections must not be allowed to be rigged. If whoever is voted for, whether we like that person or not, as long as that's what, no, it was free, fair, credible election, there was no rigging, killing, whatever, that's who the people voted for, then that person becomes, we take it for the remaining 4 years that it is. Situations where we have where people are, rigging election, it's a major problem because people's this thing don't stand. As we're sitting down here, there's coalition going on. Dr. Chidi, please get ready. You're the next to speak. Let me just round up on my thoughts now. There's coalition going on amongst politicians. Where's the coalition that is going on amongst citizens? It's for people to sit down and be abusing each other over 20, what happened in 2014 and what happened in 2015. Meanwhile, that same Jonathan that you people are raising your shoulder is there drinking tea, laughing. You pictures laughing with Buhari and laughing with Tinubu and laughing with the Atiku that were there that took it. Are we okay? Do we even sound okay? And then tomorrow we want to have power. No, you see these politicians, they are putting in the work. I asked a question the other day. What coalition are we doing? Bass boss. We abuse each other. We insult each other. I don't trust you. Do I look like I say you should trust me? Am I using your trust to go to bank? Is your trust collateral? It's not a collateral for me. The only collateral my banks understand is the buildings that I have. I go in there, I drop my CFO, they give me money. So what am I using your trust for? You don't need to trust anybody. What we need to do is to focus on the common goal. The fact that we are suffering. It's not to say, oh, this. What is it? Every time we sit down, we are fighting each other. They are there doing coalition. All of a sudden, the El-Rufai that was a tyrant, that people couldn't breathe in Kaduna State, that was throwing everybody left, right, and center into jail. All of a sudden, El-Rufai, he speaks truth to power. So, oh my goodness, he can be a president. He can be you people cannot hold grudge against people that destroy your lives. It's against your fellow citizens who owe you nothing. You decided you were not going to bring back our girls movement. Fine. You decided your empathy your psychopathy was more important than your empathy. Fine, I don't have a problem with that. I came out and I stood and I will stand again. The only thing is that what I will remember is that when you are abducted, I will remember not to say anything. Let me allow you so that you pay whatever consequences it is that needs to be paid. They are there doing coalition. We are there fighting each other. Dr. Chidi, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Aisha. Let me start from where you stopped.
Thank you, really Blessing.
Concerned about this coalition thing. I know we are at crossroads. Like we always come to, because that's what always happens, and then we somehow, God helps us to seem to find headway again. But right now, we are in a very terrible crossroad. And I'm beginning to look at the horizon, and the clouds are beginning to gather like it always does. And I'm getting very, very frustrated. I'm getting frustrated at our amnesia. We have this very big amnesia. We just forget. But I'm wondering, is this really the same people? We just forget totally the kind of discussion I'm seeing in
I
our
forgot I
political
have
space.
ACU.
I'm
I'm
wondering,
sweating here.
where are we? Where are we? Where are we? How many years to the elections, and people are being deodorized, people are being washed with bleach, and the same young, intelligent, well, not young anymore, we don't the old, but the same Nigerians who I think are intelligent, who I think are smart, are beginning to talk about these same people like we just forgot. So anyway, Aisha, people like you who are, you people now strong past me, not gonna help us. Help us try to reorganize each other. You know, one thing I like about you is that you are not somebody that they can push anyhow. Me and you, we can fight too. Yes, we do fight, but we are people who we don't shy away from what we believe. We don't shy away from holding opinions. You're talking about Chibok girls. I remember when I had to go on Steve Pakan's program, the agenda, and I spoke about Chibok girls. A lot of people are like, Chidi, why did you do that? I said, no. Even that time, they thought as an Igbo man, I shouldn't speak against Jonathan and all of that. But I stood my ground and I spoke. So if you don't hear any other thing I say today, it is the fact that I am worried about us not organizing to be able to really stand our ground and present a common front. I don't know how they do it, but at the end of the day, they come and split us. They come and, even if we eventually stood against a particular person and that person won, foundations are very, very important. My worry is always the process that we use to bring somebody into power. Because we the people that believe in one thing, honestly, even Aisha, I dare say that even you, and
Thank
I know
you
you're
so
not
much,
going to like me when I
Chima.
say this, but it doesn't matter. Even the kind of support I saw you giving, it's not the kind of support you would ordinarily have to give if we, as people who belong together, we are bold enough to stand together. But when people like you finally come under certain pressures, it's almost like, you know what, rather than just keeping quiet, let's push
What pressure
support.
was that? What pressure did I come under? Because I don't know. Enlighten me.
You know the agree now. If left alone, I'd rather even have you running as president than giving support, because when you talk about coalition, okay, let me call
No,
it
you said
space.
pressure. I'm interested in what pressure it is that.
Yeah. You aligned your support with obedience.
Yeah,
And
I didn't
and
align my
victory,
support
and
with.
I'm
I
not asking you
supported
to
Peter
justify
Obi.
that.
No. I supported Peter Obi. So when you say pressure, so I want to know what, because I don't know of any pressure.
No, the pressure I'm talking about is because P2B wasn't our best coalition, because when you talk about the people that were allowed into like the Babangida, them, the who and who were P2B had to go and seek their support, and all those things, they didn't align with what people like us believe. So those are the kind of pressures that I would say.
Chidi.
Let me rephrase.
No. So you know when we say so that we don't. So the thing is this. That's not what he wasn't your best, but he was my best.
That's what I was trying
exactly.
to say.
So my best doesn't have to be your best. Your best doesn't have to be my best.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
P2B wouldn't be your best.
Of the candidates, before I made my 2022 choice, I waited until, see, let me tell you something. In 2011, I voted for Ribadu. Ribadu will not come today for me to vote for him. Never. But in
Good.
2011, with the choices that were there, I didn't vote for Tinubu. I didn't vote for Buhari. I didn't vote for Jonathan because I thought they were no. I went for, and it was even because of Ribadu. I actually got so let me digress a little bit. I got my voting card. The first time I voted was for MKO Abiola in 1993. I could vote then. I was 19, I think. I voted. It was cancelled, and I vowed that I would never vote again in Nigeria. When Ribadu came on, seeing how he had behaved in AFCC and how, very courageous he seemed to be, patriotic, he refused, and he was bribed with how many $1 million by then James Ibori. He didn't collect all of those. I was excited. I campaigned for him. I went out. You understand? That was 2011. 2015, I didn't want to vote for Buhari. Go back and check. APC were attacking me, PDP were attacking me. It was by January, especially after that postponement of election. The thing that pushed me was Osinbajo. Osinbajo was who I voted for. And that's why today, when I see people saying that, Peter Obi should go and be, I say, for what? I say, me, I will campaign against that ticket. If Peter Obi will go and be vice president to Atiku or anybody. Because we voted for vice president, knowing fully well that Buhari always delegates. He never does the job. And that was where they said, Osinbajo will tackle economy. Buhari, based on the fact that he has military. Nobody had anything for Buhari. It was Osinbajo. And if you read, in January 2015, the tweets are there. I've never changed my Twitter handle. I've never opened. A lot of people who were Gejais changed their Twitter handle later so that they can say they can form saints. I was saying, where is Buhari? It was Osinbajo that started the campaign. He was the one that did common sense revolution. He went out everywhere. So, believing that, okay, as a vice president, he can do so much. He went into power, everything scattered. 2019, I was in the campaign team of Dr. Obi Ezekwesili. And that 2015, hold on. I'm going to take you to somewhere. I'm going to take you somewhere. I will give you that time to 2015. I knew of 2 candidates. I didn't know the other candidates. Those were the 2 I knew, and I made a choice out of that. 2019, I voted. I was in the campaign of Dr. Obi Ezekwesili. When Yele Sowore when he said he was going to be president, I was one of the most excited person. I went there. We went 2018. I see people shouting now. We all were then excited. He finished speaking. And if you could remember, on that day, I was like, okay, guys, yes, we know what the problems are. We know I can talk back, but we can talk, but we know what are the solutions. And I couldn't get it. And I'm like, nah, I don't see what I want. So for you, he's the best candidate. And I respect your choice. Don't say I wasn't under any pressure. For me, so he wasn't. So when we came to 2022, after the whole thing, Peter Obi was for me. And I remember in 2021, the tweets are there. I said to PDP, if you want something to happen, retire them Atiku, Bukola Saraki, all of that, pick them Peter Obi and Frank Weke Jr. and co. For me, it's not what I want is who will work for Nigeria, who will come and do Jackie work, who has empathy, not the one that feels that, he's the only thing after jollof rice. If it's not him. Any candidate that tells me that he's the only one that can fix Nigeria, nobody else. I see him as another version of Buhari. And I'm not going to go that way. Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway,
please.
No problem. But my thing is, after, let's just look forward.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see solutions for where we are. And please, you people, when you want to give examples, stop using this Canada. It's like, how can you be comparing?
It's Canada people that used to come and talk anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
It's you people that used to come and talk anyhow. You are enjoying 24/7 electricity.
You never even go Ghana. You never even go. Please just leave us alone.
Nothing I know they do anyhow.
Wait, Aisha. You know that here.
That problem now. You are enjoying. We are. I live abroad.
Wait. You're cutting me off. Hold on.
Okay, top V media. Sorry, Dr. Chidi. Let's allow you to finish.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Aisha, do you know here, this place, that a 10-year-old girl was reported. They are not, it's not that she's missing, but they think that she is missing. there will be an amber alert. Like every system will be stopped. It doesn't matter whether you're broadcasting on TV. It doesn't matter whether you're in the emergency performing a surgery. An alarm will go off all over Canada at the same time. This is one person. Nobody said they killed this person. No. Is that what you want to start comparing with Nigeria? So I just want to point that out that let's find another thing to be using to compare. We never even get to that point. Anyway, let me end on this note, I beg. Let us try to find a solution. We don't try all these kind of permutations, this political ideology, this one.
Hello, Dr. Chidi. Hope I'm not the one. Hello? Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, can you?
Hello. Oh, sorry. I had a call.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So please, you guys, let's have on spaces. Let's forget about the bus bus and what they call. That's a waste of our time. Let's begin to think about the way forward. How do we? Because we have the power. These people. When I say it, I like how you said it. People don't understand that these people need us more than we need them. We are the powers that be. They are our servants. They are coming to look for a job. You know how people go for employment? We should be the ones telling them, oh yeah, sit down. Tell us, what is your qualification?
Yes, so I have TikTok accounts, but I'll post once in a while. I usually post because same contents that are here.
No, please.
I'm telling you, Nigeria is really for that.
A means of forming a united front so that whoever we find, let us be the ones that will say, okay, based on our review of all of this, I wish we had that kind of arrangement.
Thank you, Doc.
We're united, and all of these people are not part of what is going on, including Showore that I support. Let's keep everybody away first of all. Let us come together. After we come together, anybody that we say, this is the person that we choose, once we choose that person, that's it. But let us first of all organize ourselves. Let us first of all do our own alliance. If we can do that, then I'll be happy. Then we'll invite these people. You can have a space, line them up, let them come and talk to us. After talking to us, let us have a panel that will select them. Whoever we select, we'll put our support behind that person. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. I mean, that's it for me. That's really the crux of the conversation. But today, now for Baskos, every day I've been on Nigerian issue. I do 4 videos every day. I put it on my YouTube channel. It's not because I don't have work to do, because the conversation have to be. I have meetings upon meetings upon meetings. Going on with different this thing. So I put in that energy for me to do. I'm ready. Anyhow. Anybody wey wan talk, may get mouth, may we talk the talk from now till 6 that I will need to go off and join a class that I need to do. So like you rightly said, the thing is this: what are the coalition that people are doing? People aren't doing it. They're busy defending some leaders who don't care about them. It's all for a good number of them, because it's for them, it's about stomach infrastructure. They think it's the same thing for everyone, and then insult someone every day, come out every day. I just see someone here who is on the space now. Every day he comes to my this thing, he insults me. I'm like, please, feel free. We dey take insult, drink garri. Me, I tell people I grew up poor. We didn't have food sometimes to eat in a day. Now insult we dey eat in a day. But know what, if you're insulting someone, you're fighting someone, fight someone because somebody has done something to you. Not that, they removed Jonathan from office. Is Jonathan a baby? The Jonathan wey they remove office, he don't say anything about you. When the election happened, the government, the judiciary had not even done their this thing. Jonathan don't reach Aso Villa. He dey shine teeth. In the coming days, you see me, I will get to a lot of places. I beg you. I'm from the south. Jonathan is from the south. I remember my father saying that, we've never had a south president. This is the first time that when I went to the village, I think that was December 2014 or something like that. This is the first time that our own has entered. I say if our own not do anyhow, we got to talk on. That's what it is. It's not about our own or not our own. It's about having the right people that will do the work for Nigeria, so that we are not running looking for certain things. My daughter just finished university. Before graduation, she was already working. Before she finished her exams, she already had job offer. She was making choice which one to choose, which one not to choose. If it's in this Nigeria here, they will expect you, they will tell somebody, someone who has spent all her life selling ugu to train her child. Her child has come out with good result. They will tell her that she needs to come and get either a senator's a note or something for the child to be able to get a job. How does that sound okay with us? For those of us who know what it was for us to get admission, how, because we didn't have anybody, how we were treated. Now because you are somebody, you cannot remember that you too, you were once nobody that was treated anyhow, and then you feel for the person who was treated anyhow. My son left Nigeria in 2013 when he was 14. Why did he leave Nigeria? He was at the Regent Secondary School before we took him out. Why? Because he's dyslexic. It's a learning disability. He had to go to England for him to be able to get the right kind of education. Today, he's a graduate. If we had left him here in Nigeria, he would not be able to do anything. So what if we can pay for our child to go to UK or any other place? What about the parents, the children whose parents can't pay for village? We are educated. We can write. There are people who don't have that privileges. Those are the people that matter. Not you and me that sit down and think, oh, Aisha is a mad woman. Aisha is a shower. Before, what you think I do for my husband's house? You think I can't eat gari and drink this? I feel feed myself and I be graduate. Now shower work carry me come there. I get one customer, I dey service and well. I know they hide that one. Which is such one thing. So say I get husband when they call me also say. That's it, means the beautiful one. If I cough, you go say, sweetheart, what can I do to help make your life better? He says, sit down, no cook, there is a chef, cook, bring food for you. So, oh, Aisha is this, Aisha is that. Oh, we don't trust you. Am I using your trust to do collateral? Do I look like I need your trust to do collateral? Oh, God, George, I beg now, you get mic now.
Sorry, ma. Sorry. You know the other time I was speaking, I asked a question and you moved on to another person.
Sorry, did you speak now?
I'm just saying.
I thought this is the first time you are coming.
So that I'll drop for other people to come up. Okay.
No, George. I thought this is the first time you are speaking.
All right, so good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Madam Aisha.
Is this George?
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, is this George?
Go ahead. Okay. So, I will say,
wow.
I'll use this opportunity quickly to say thank you to Madam Aisha. Despite all the maybe frustration from some members of the public and so many, we understand. I, for one, I would say personally from the bottom of my heart, right from the time I saw you with Bring Back Our Girls.
Thank you so much.
You know, with the Jonathan administration.
They sit down every day. They are attacking Peter Obi. They feel that the support Peter Obi got should have gone to them. How?
Kidnapped. Nothing was done. So when we now start hearing stories, revisionist stories today, is it because time has passed and people have this collective amnesia? But not. I don't want to say generally, but a few people do this all the time. We thank God we are still alive today to say what happened during Jonathan's time. I personally felt that Jonathan was a weak president. He was surrounded by military officers who could probably take over power any moment at that time. Jonathan was not speaking up. People were dying. We had this Boko Haram insurgency. People were dying on a daily basis. Yes, fuel prices were not as high as it is today, but at that time, that was the highest we've ever experienced. So for people to not come, that Jonathan is not this, is that. No, Jonathan, I'm from the South. We got to call a spade every time. See, because sometimes when it does not hit home, for some people, they don't come out because we are very selfish. So whatever they are saying about Jonathan, that's their own wahala. In fact, I will even say, don't go ahead and even try and justify whatever you did. If you were even, I don't know if you even had anything to do with USAID. Forget all that. You've done your part. Madam Obi Ezekwesili, I would always, respect that one.
We didn't have anything to do with USAID. I've never collected any aid from anybody.
In order to defend democracy and then, fight for good leadership. So what Nigerians need to start doing is to understand that your enemies are not the people who are trying to point out the ills of the society. The enemies are not that. But unfortunately, the people who are listening to you and I, the first thing they do, because they have these itchy fingers on the keyboard, and they start typing nonsense, insults, because they don't do their research. They don't even go to school. And that is a tool which the people and the leadership, they understand that when people are ill-educated, they would go ahead and say anything and support them. You know, because they can benefit, just get 5,000 naira or whatever it is, a bag of rice, and then they start supporting nonsense. You know, so even the Rufai that we are talking about, Kaduna was burning. Kaduna was divided for a very long time. Why would Rufai be the one to now start pointing out the ills of the society? So these are all things Nigerians have to understand today, you know, that they need to form a coalition that allows them to understand what the problem is, where the problem is. That is why when they started with these beavers and IREV and all that, there's this INEC official, Mikey Guinea, because Mikey Guinea was SUG president then when I was in the University of Benin. He was a very no-nonsense person. He was a man of integrity. He still is today. Mike came out alongside some other people to vouch for Beaver, because I'm into computing. I understand that if you go through the electronic means and if it's done properly, then your votes will count. That is where, in fact, that is what I'm trying to advocate.
Oh, God, Chris, oh, yo. I can't drink that coke. I beg. They know they use this trust. Oh, Aisha, we don't trust you. I tell anybody to trust me.
Yeah. Through the electronic means, it has to happen, because at the end of the day, if people cannot vote and their vote
thank you, Yobachuku, Chris.
Obi, in my own opinion, I don't have my data to support that, but from the various polling booths or locations that I was in during that election, Obi won. There's no way the president of this country would have won without winning Lagos, without winning Abuja. We all know that. But unfortunately, we have psychophants everywhere. We have people who would just sell their birthright, sell their future. You know, so I would say the coalition we are going to do, whatever coalition anybody is doing, it has to spill over to the people who are less educated in the society, because they are more. These are the people who are less educated, who are hungry. These are the people we should really send that message to. English is not their language. Local language is their language. Let's drive that message down. They are not on Twitter. These are the people who will not even understand, because they say, because in Nigeria, we are thinking of titles. Okay, look at Donald Trump. It's so surprising, so appalling that people will come out and start supporting Donald Trump that they don't know anything about. They tell you, oh, he's a Christian, he's a Christian that says, grab them by the pussy. That's a Christian. And then you see, if Donald Trump has come in after several years, say George Bush, we would have said George W. Bush, who caused the Iraqi war, we would have still been saying he's the worst president ever. But because Trump has come in, because they brought in Sarah Palin, we now have a Bush being deodorized, just the same way they are doing Jonathan now.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I will say thank you again. That's all
thank
I have to
you.
say at this time.
Thank you so much, Mr. George. There are some names. There are 3 more people whose names are here. Then I'll start bringing in the other requests. Then for those who have spoken, I might just have to remove you from the speaker. This is so that I'm able to bring some people up. Just to say one thing here, just to also add to the DC. You said whatever. I've never had any work to do with anything that had to do with you said. I've never had to collect. For me, that's the thing, because I keep telling people that's, you know, one of the things people see, because if you don't, they tend to look at someone and think, they think that if you're speaking out, it means maybe you're either poor or you need something or you don't have money. No, that for me, that wasn't the case. I only started speaking out because I had already made enough money for me to be financially independent. So I didn't need anybody, whatever. That's why I will tell you up to today. Nobody will say, Aisha Yesufu, that I came to your office to ask for something, I collected money from you, I did whatever. Even throughout this campaign that was done. Oh, Aisha, we trust you. I said no. Anything. Wait for Peter Obi to set up his campaign account. When he set up his campaign account, pay money into it. Nobody will say, Aisha, this thing. One of the things that I want people to critically think about is that why is it that as we talk about, because recently, if you notice, I started talking about coalition. I started talking about what are the coalition that we, the people, are also doing. Why is it that when we start all of this, then all of a sudden people remember that, oh, Aisha Yesufu was in BBOG removed Tinubu. Every election that we want to go into, it happened in 2019, it happened in 2023. Now again, we are thinking about 2027 election. It's happening again. The same set of people, the same conversation. Yes, I supported, I voted for Buhari because as of that time, that was for me what was the best that was on ground. Two of them, I wasn't going to vote for someone who had failed. Just the same way that in 2019, I didn't vote for Buhari. Just the same way that before Buhari entered office, I held him accountable. After he entered office, I held him accountable. I have no loyalty to anybody. My loyalty is to where justice and truth is. I don't care who you are. You can be me. I will hold you accountable when the thing comes. I don't have anything with you said. I don't even know. For me, I didn't even know what was going on because I don't spend my time. One of the things that I have lost with having so many followers is engagement. So this is the thing. When you have so many followers, you lose a lot because you're seeing some messages, you won't see them. So because that's why I don't even spend more time on Twitter as such as I do. And because for me, one of the things that have come out, and I tell people, there are a lot of young people now who are holding people accountable. When people say that, oh, we lost it, look, EndSARS was not a failure. Obedient Movement campaign was not a failure. They were amazing successes. It's just that people don't know how to look at the little wins. Prior to EndSARS, sometimes I'll be the one fighting 10 battles on Twitter. Now, I don't even have to say anything. People are taking on those battles. You know how amazing that is? People have voices. So they are doing that. So most time, I don't even stay on Twitter. I didn't know until a friend sent this and I saw my name. Why are you putting my name? For this, because for me, I don't like mentioning somebody when somebody is not there. Because I dey like, if I talk something, may I dey talk am for your eye. May you dey look me, dey look my mouth, or may you dey hear me. Why are you mentioning my name? You've blocked me since 2020. Now, what was the problem between me and David Hunda? Before 2021, go and check if there was anything David Hunda did against me or BBO or against me being BBO. No. The problem came when I said APC and PDP are the same. Then he was a major supporter of PDP. And then 2022, he will now come and say the same thing. So it's okay for him to say it. It's not okay for me to say it. So I didn't know. I don't care whether you say. For me, AIDS. I have said it several times. If you go back to my Twitter handle, check AIDS. I have said Nigeria, Africa does not need AIDS. What Africa needs is for the West to stop giving enabling environment for people who loot our wealth to take it there. I don't care how much does USAID have they are giving us. How much have they looted from Nigeria that they've taken to America? That's what they should be focusing on. Elon Musk, George Bush, whatever Bush they call themselves, whatever Musk they call themselves, let them dare every illegal money that is there, let them return it back to Nigeria. All the houses, all the whatever, you go to certain streets in London, you see houses, top houses are owned by Nigerians. How did they get those monies? That's what concerns me. Somebody comes, oh, he's suddenly a billionaire. How did you get it? They carry Nigeria's money, they put it there, and then they will be sending peanuts to us and tell us they are sending aid to us. I've never had any issue with aid. I don't have I don't need it. I've never done it. My advocacy, that's why you will not see me say, Aisha, there is no place that you say, Aisha Yesufu, there was one, aid that was given to her. I have people who come, Aisha, with your name, with your this, you can get it. You can get aid. You can get what do they call that thing? What do they call this money that they give? Support, a grant. Yes, God bless you. You can get grants. You can get even up to like millions of dollars or whatever. I say I don't do it. This is what I always say to them. I say, you see me like this, I love my big mouth. I actually have a big mouth, physically and figuratively. My mouth big. I love to use my big mouth. So if I begin to collect grants and aid, so that means I will not be checking and say, this thing, they will tell you how to speak, what to spend it, or what you should not focus on. I tell people I'm not. Even when I say, look, I'm not a civil society person, I'm more of a movement person. I am free. I have my energy. That's why I tell people, anything called appointment or whatever, I'm not interested. You see me like this. When this thing happened, when they did that Tinubu anthem, they removed the national anthem and brought in Tinubu's anthem. When they were playing it, I refused to stand up. The only reason why I could do that was because I'm a private citizen. If I was an appointee or an elected official, I can't do that. If I'm running for office today or I'm elected into office, I can't do that. You know why? Because I no longer own myself. It's the people that own me. And for me, that own is part of the things I don't like. I like my like. If you say bass, I will say boss. You see this bass boss I'm doing. If I am elected or I will never even do appointee. If I'm elected or running for office, I can't do it because then I'm not a servant. I don't occupy the highest office in the land. So for me, that's it. I didn't even know what was going on. BBOG, let me say this categorically before I bring in the next speaker. BBOG has never, we've said this several times, so if anybody has any this, let them bring it up. BBOG has never collected money from anyone. Not that people didn't offer, they offered. We said no. And thank God for Dr. Obi Ezekwesili. That was her main. Some of us were even asking her, why now? We could use the money. She said, no, it's better. Let's use our empathy. Let's use what we have. Anything that we don't have, we leave it. And that was what happened. We used what we had. Is it money to buy water? We do this thing. I've done protests where I spent 800 naira. Protest is not expensive. What is expensive is occupy. That was why even for those who did NSAS, on the day they were there, when they said they were going to stay at police headquarters, I said to them, there's a difference between protest and occupy. You spend money and whatever. Protest, what does it take? Everybody come with your water, come with your this. You don't need to spend money. So we didn't have, BBOG has never collected anything. We stood there. We were coming out every day until 2020. 2020 was when we stopped the physical campaign. Why? Because of COVID-19, when they did shut down. But some people will say that after Buhari led, they never came out, because that is the lie they want to tell themselves to feel good, because they were so evil. Girls were taken away and they couldn't feel empathy. They were busy defending somebody who didn't care about those people that were alive. When we did in 2016 or 2017, there was a particular award that we won in Argentina. It's called Emilio Mignoni Award for Human Rights. BBOG won it. It came with a cash prize. We took the award. We refused to take the cash prize. They were insisting. We said they should go and look for the cheaper families and give them. We've never. And that is on period. The way my daughter will say it, their generation will say it. We know they put water for mouth. So when you begin to drop all of this in windows, please feel free to drop it. Nobody dey here where they hungry. No be hunger make me they shout BBOG or whatever. And every protest that has come out, they've always said the same thing. They said NSAS was because we wanted to remove Buhari. Even this end bad governance, this thing that happened. And kudos to everyone that participated in it. For me, I doff my hat. It was an amazing this thing that went on. I wasn't part of it. I didn't join, because for me, I have said there is no how I can be making demands to Tinubu, God forbid, an illegitimate president, the former governor of Lagos State. I can't. When I go and say, oh, I make the, that means I've legitimized his illegitimacy. So I said I'm not going to protest. If today there's a protest where they are saying, and please, DSS or whatever, carry this one here. If today there's a protest, Nigerians decide they are coming out, that they want to go and protest, that Tinubu must go. Bam, I go there. That's the kind of protest I'll take part in. But for me to go and be say, I'm demanding from something from Tinubu, say what happened. It's not supposed to be there in the first place. The next person, I think, I wrote it here. Okay, easy of Lagos, yeah.
If you allow me round up.
Okay. Yeah,
No, you don't talk before. No, I can't bring you back in. There are people who haven't spoken. I'm sorry. You had your, yes, you did have your, this thing. Easy of Lagos is you next. After Easy of Lagos, there's someone called the Nigeria. Is it the Nigerian citizen? You are next. And then Jack the Builder. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Auntie Aisha, and everybody on this space. Let me start by first saying that I would honestly say that you have been part of the system, regardless of how you want to like whitewash this whole issue, and regardless of how you see it, or the issue between you and David. I see it like it's just a fallout, and if at any point you try to like look at it like in a way like the system it has benefits like your household entirely when it comes to maybe even if you tell us that you have not probably getting any appointments or at least your husband at least was part of the system too. And what did you do in your own little way to make everything right? But I was just like trying to like look at the whole situation and what really happened. But to be honest with people on this space, Auntie Aisha, you have been part and parcel of the system. And if any coalition will happen, I would probably not see it like a new coalition or a coalition that would bring new ideas, new people, new new soil, those that would give us something different from what has been happening. So I just see it like just trying to like maybe play the victim here, and I just don't know what's always happen at every point, because even when it comes to the accountability of the party you support, you have not properly been given account of that, and you say that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not the illegitimate president because maybe your demands are not met. I don't know, but it's just so sad that at every market days you always come out to cry foul on spaces or on the timeline. And it is sad that we Nigerians need to wake up and see from this reality that you have not really been honest with Nigerians as well. You have not been really honest. And I just implore people to step back and think about everything. You have benefited from the system, regardless of how you want to say it. You have benefited, and you know it within your heart. I will not tell you how to do it or how to run it, but it's just so sad that you always try to like play the victim or try to wash this whole situation, and it is not good. It is honestly not good. I really appreciate the fact that you opened this space, and I have always wanted to like speak with you one-on-one as a sister, that you should honestly do better. You should maybe try and give accounts, transparent accounts. Start something fresh that would be different from who you are as a person. Peter Obi is not the best candidate. You have the right to support him. Yeah, it is good, but you cannot always try to deceive Nigerians and try to like make it look obvious that you are trying to like give us a better Nigerians, which you have not honestly in your heart do in your own little capacity. So for me, I would just tell you that as a auntie, I would tell you that you should
hello. I'm not your auntie. It's okay. You don't have to subpedal it. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm not trying to disrespect you here. I would
no, disrespect is okay. I don't see. So okay, easy of Lagos. See, at the kind of no. I just want to tell you. Hold on, I will allow you round up. Feel free to say what I'm taking notes. Feel free, say anything. I don't want that auntie. I see you are talking and then you are trying to. No fear. Open your mic, pour out. I'm taking notes. I will come back.
I took the mic, so I'm not. Why would I be scared to like talk to you in the face? You are not my mother, so why would I be? I'm just trying to like pick my word and try and put up every context of what I really want to say, regardless of how you see it. You should maybe rethink and be honest with Nigerians. Try and make everything right within yourself, and don't just try and pick people, maybe people who are your fans, and try and just pick or sugarcoat to them and make them look like you are making it obvious that you are playing the victim or you are the saint here. You are not different from those people you accuse. You are not different from anybody that you accuse on this place. You are part of this system as well. It has benefits your family. So I would just tell you that you should maybe take 2-3 minutes to look at the system of how you have also been part and parcel of it. So my own is just like for you to just try and do better for yourself and for Nigerians at large. And don't deceive us. Don't deceive Nigerians. It is not fair. It is honestly not fair. You come on space, monetize everything you do, try and make it obvious like you are trying to fight for Nigerians, put your tags of things that are not, just try to put yourself in the forefront of everything. But it is not cool. It is not human for you to like put everything like you have always been part of the system. That's just my own 2 cents on it. So maybe you can try and think and look at my own statement on this issue. So thank you for giving me the mic.
You're welcome. So just hold on a bit and don't go. So I need to know, so how have I benefited?
Thank you. Yeah, why I said so is that at least your husband is part of, he was the chairman of, is in NAFDAC or so. One way or the other, you have also, you never speak at that point or call out any bad governance at that
Oh, okay.
point in
So,
time.
okay.
Try and make it.
NAFDAC, you said NAFDAC.
I think I can't remember, but your
so what year was this that my husband was there?
You said?
Yeah. So what year was this? So
remember,
okay, you can't remember. Okay, fine. Okay, you can't remember.
It was part or withdraw from the.
So no, keep your mic on because I want us to. You've made a lot of accusations, so I want us to go after them one after the other. And so, like I was just trying to say to you, first of all, I'm not your auntie, and it's okay. I'm Aisha. We're just fellow citizens, and we speak to each other. So that was what I was trying to let you know on that. So you said my husband has benefited.
NHIS, yeah, I remember now.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, my husband was in NHIS, right? And that was he was GM finance in NHIS. Before then, he was the GM in not procurement, but funds management, right? So that's how he was part of the system. Is he of Lagos?
Definitely.
Okay.
He was part of the system.
Okay.
And he was accused of allegedly accused of money scandals as well. So
okay, so
it's there, you can Google it, you can check it out.
Yeah, calm down now. I listen. We'll take it one after the other. We have time here. He was allegedly accused of scandal. So this same husband has recently been arrested, right? Is he of Lagos? Your mic is off in case you are talking.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know what the corruption allegation is, but I know he was accused.
No, you need to know.
He was dropped. I think he was dropped or sacked from that office, and maybe the corruption case is still within the EFCC custody.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so for someone who does accusation, you have a lot of I don't knows. Put on your mic. We're gonna be having.
Not I don't know. This is out there. This is for people.
Yes, now hold on now. Don't be. We have time, don't we? We have time. It's the space. You see, when you were talking, I allowed you to say all the things. So what happens is that we're gonna interrogate everything that has been said. It's not that. So this husband of mine that was accused of corruption in NHIS, and he was eventually sacked. That's why I'm saying he has just been arrested, Abi. Your this thing is off in case you are speaking.
Oh, sorry. I was having a call. Just try and rephrase what.
Oh, okay. So I said this husband of mine that was said to have done corruption in NHIS, and he was even sacked because of that. I said he has just been arrested again, Abi.
No, he has not been arrested. I would employ the EFCC to at least look into that case.
Okay, so fantastic. So in case you don't know, that same husband has also been arrested. In short, I have 2 husbands. I have a Twitter husband and I have a physical husband at home. And I think I did tweet. There are other questions I'm going to come to. So I think I also tweeted a few days ago.
I don't want you to work. No. Reality. It is out there.
Easy of Lagos. It is out there. Lord have mercy.
And it is not fair on Nigerians.
Exactly. You've spoken. Let me speak. You say I didn't stop you.
To at least clear these allegations.
Let me be here now. It's my husband that you said now. Calm down. Why are you afraid of to hear what is coming? You spoke.
I'm not afraid.
Exactly. So just calm down. So this husband of mine that you said was sacked from EFCC, he had He had corruption cases. Because of that, he was even sacked. There was an EFCC. That's what I'm saying to you. Maybe since you don't know, let me tell you also, this husband of mine has recently also been arrested.
NHIS, not EFCC.
Okay, sorry, yeah. No, EFCC, I will say the case is with EFCC. The NHIS, yes. This husband of mine has also currently been arrested. And so that's what I'm saying to you. I have two, I'm saying to everybody here, because it's allegation you made. So calm down, be ready to hear the response to the allegation. Don't be afraid. That's what I keep saying. This same husband, I have two husbands. One is on Twitter, the other one is with me physically. So the other day we saw Professor Usman Yusuf that had been arrested. He had issues with what was it called now? He had, was it 27, I don't know how many billion naira corruption case with EFCC. And then the minister sacked him. Buhari brought him back in. And now, because he's taking on, then he was supporting Buhari, APC supporters were all into him. Now, this same person now is against Tinubu. So EFCC have just arrested him. That is the one that APC e-talks woke up one day and they say, oh, that's Aisha Yesufu's husband. So for your information, that's not Aisha Yesufu's husband. That's actually Professor. Hold on now. Hold on. I will call you. Hold on. Easy of Lagos. I'm here. When I open this day, I say join, air your takes, and ask questions. Everyone is welcome. When you were speaking, I allowed you to speak. I deliberately didn't even say any time because I wanted you to flow. Even when you were repeating yourself, I wanted you to exhaust yourself, and you have done that. And I said, me and you will be having a conversation, so calm down. This husband of mine is Professor Usman Yusuf. We are not Twitter people, APC e-talks married us off. We are not. So let me give you my own bit. So that is different from Ali Yesufu.
Are you saying?
Oh Lord, have mercy. Easy of Lagos. Hold on. It's not, Professor Usman Yusuf is not my husband. Next time you want to come with, and hold on, I will give you the gist. I will give you Ali Yesufu so that has the NHIS that has corruption issues was sacked, brought back, sacked after the 2019 election, because I kept asking, they probably needed something for the 2019 election, and now he has been picked up by EFCC. That Professor Usman Yusuf is not Aisha Yesufu's husband. My husband is Aliyu Osigwe Yesufu. Yes, he did what he worked at NHIS. He was GM. So that, get it right. Anything you want to do, argument, come with facts. He was GM Finance, and he left before I think he left, was it 2013? That was when they did their retirement. 8 years. He spent 8 years in public service. You understand? For somebody, my husband, to have spent 8 years in public service. Hold on, now, Easy of Lagos. Hold on. Easy of... He didn't. So hold on, Easy of Lagos. You understand? I've given Easy of Lagos. He did not leave. He did not leave because of EFCC. So calm down and hold on. We are here now. We are here. I'm not. We will have this conversation. My husband spent 8 years in public service. As of that time, as a director. So let me give you a bit of background, because I love this kind of thing, and I would love for EFCC to dare come and say anything, so that we will talk. We will farm him. I will farm him. My husband he became a chartered accountant in 1986. So next year will be 40 years that he became a chartered accountant. He had worked in KPMG, Akitola Williams, and all of that. In 2005, while we were moving to one of our houses that we've built in Kaduna. So the Nigerian citizen, sorry, let me just say, you know, my husband will laugh. He calls him my Twitter husband. He say, he calls me, say, they've arrested your Twitter husband, though.
I've been through this. I've seen these things happen all over the place. It makes me laugh every time. I have been blocked. I have been suspended. It's not good day. We have been doing this business of engaging APC idiots. Those that know me, know that this is my position. But anyway, see, I honestly wish we not go all the way from David Montaigne business to this one, because at this point now it has become a comic show. I came here to discuss serious business. Anyway, let me try and bring us back to the whole
bring back our girls business, because to be honest, there's no. I don't try to bother to educate people that are deliberately obtuse. I have decided they are not going to add anything. Google is a link away. If you just type the questions you have, you will find some level of education. Nigerians really do not read. But you see APC people, they are a different. APC people, stupid people will be
So sorry, it was a battery. I was just talking. The phone went off. I didn't know the battery had gone down.
Back to the bring back our girls business. I understand that all of us, and this is including me, for example, in 2020, I was on the streets of Ojota, right? Because we did not like what was happening in Nigeria. Now, a lot of us, including David and himself, right? A lot of us, we are out trying to demand accountability from government, right? The truth is this, right? Sometimes people may have manipulated our goodwill for sinister reasons. It does not mean that we did not have goodwill in the first place. I don't know if that makes sense, right? So that's my personal position. If I say that children were kidnapped, for example, there was a laxity from Jonathan, mostly because and I also from the benefit of hindsight, when I look back, I say, okay, maybe there are some things that he saw that we did not see that made him to say, oh, we did not believe that the whole bring back our girls was real. I want to use the word quote and unquote now, right? Because children were kidnapped, right? Nigerians were speaking up. But all of a sudden, we saw that whole business was spun into a whole media campaign by the United States to topple a very young democracy. Jonathan may not have been good enough for many of us in 2012, for example, right? Because of the whole subsidy removal business that we know how it went, right? But the truth remained that between a Jonathan and a Buhari, Jonathan was by far better. Even if we don't even believe it then, looking back from hindsight, we should be able to understand that yes, looking at the economy that these men handled at the time they were, remember, Jonathan faced the most opposition in Nigeria's democratic history till date. He had, I will use the Sovereign Wealth Fund as an example. Today, or two days ago or so, Donald Trump just came and he announced the Sovereign Wealth Fund for the United States. Imagine, just think about it. The United States does not have a sovereign wealth fund. China has a sovereign wealth fund. Nigeria has a sovereign wealth fund. Who put that sovereign wealth fund together? His name was Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. We may not, some of us may have said we did not like Jonathan then, but Jonathan built foundations that people are still enjoying today. He may not have been able to put his cabinet together, but once again, like I said, Jonathan was in the midst of idiots. Classic example, when Jonathan was bringing up the sovereign wealth fund in 2011, May 26, I like to do somebody I like numbers. May 2026 eventually got the assembly to pass it and all of that. People were against him. State governors were against. I know the Bala Mohammed today was FCT minister at that time. Rotimi Amechi was there. In fact, Rotimi Amechi took Jonathan to court on top of the sovereign wealth fund matter. Only Peter Obi and Batunde Fashola supported that. And if you know, 36 governors, and none of them were willing to save for the future. Now, I'm saying all of this so that we know that Jonathan was surrounded by very foolish people. Sadly, the truth is that the issue that I believe the citizens may have probably made a mistake about, and this is I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus here. I'm saying that if we say that okay, Jonathan, we don't like what you were doing.
Amen.
Was that citizens said they wanted Buhari instead? Jesus. You will not take yourself out of fry pan because it's hot and throw yourself in the fire. Like I said, at that time, many may not have known. Once again, let us admit to ourselves, Nigeria was under a full-blown psyop from the West. We may not have known about it then. May have begun to see that now. For example, the USAID Nigeria has just shut down their website, their Twitter account. The USAID is officially going offline in many countries. Why? Because it needs to become clear that these things have been happening for years. The US has toppled 48 leaderships in the last 20 or 30 years. That is more than half of the world's democracy. And this has been happened to Nigeria in 2015. So, in summary, right, yes, we may have said, oh, Jonathan was horrible and all of that. But the options that were presented to us at that time were worse. Even if we don't believe it, today is obvious. I rest my case at that point. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the Nigerian citizen. And I love how you put, your facts down. That's what it's supposed to be. Not to say, oh, I thought it was NAFDAC, I thought it was this, I thought another person. If you're going to accuse someone or say anything, the most important thing is that get your facts right and just put them out in the way that they're going to be. So let me come back and raise some of the things that you've spoken about, the Nigerian citizen. One of the things, that people always talk about is that they'll say in right now and back, nobody that was voting is a soothsayer, neither is anybody psychic. Whatever decision you make it based on the information that were at your hand. I will say this thing, I've said this thing many times over. Buhari did not win the 2015 election. It was Jonathan that lost the 2015 election. When you talk about this PSYOP and all of that, yes, America has done that, is it today, right from the 60s and whatever, there've been a lot of accusations. They've dabbled in people's democracy, in people's monarchy, in people's countries and on all of that. That's not it. But to sit down and put all the blame on that, it's a no-no. What was his name? Jonathan did not take leadership at all. And I will give you few things. Let's forget all those big things. 48 boys were killed in Potiskum. They were standing in front of the assembly. They were doing assembly. And a terrorist with suicide bomber came in and 48 died. There was not a word from them. On that day, I think was the day that they did, what did they call this? Is it nomination when they declared Jonathan? Same, this Akpabio, you see him raising the hand of Jonathan in some of those pictures there. They went ahead to do it, not a single word. Was that the fault of US, you said? Was that the fault of American government? We had a government that, and with arrogance, that said that, oh, they are going to stay in government for the next 50 years, and they did nothing. Yes, there was a lot of opposition, but who has stopped opposition from happening? Why haven't the PDP be able to organize themselves into an opposing force? But one of the things also that we also have forgotten is that there was a lot of attack on opposition. The attack on opposition was the worst in Jonathan's era. If you guys remember, DSS, Merily Oga, was used repeatedly, to attack. Merily Oga was used repeatedly to attack opposition. Lai Mohammed, that became Minister of Information, that was saying all sorts of things. He was picked up for loitering. Many people were saying there's nothing like loitering. Militarization of election came during Jonathan. Was it American government that said they should do that? Let's not make ourselves as if citizens are this, how do I put it? People who are unable to make any decision, that it was just America and using BBOG and whatever. Yeah, opposition is good for one thing. Whenever there's a problem in a society, they will take it on. They will hammer on it. Do you see what this thing the Conservatives are doing in the UK with the Labour government? They are after them. Any small thing, they amplify it. That's what opposition does. I wonder why we come to our case and people are thinking that, opposition shouldn't do anything. Even us at the Bring Back Our Girls movement, and I have tweets. That's why for me, I love people. Dig my tweet. Go back and dig it. When they came to say that, I think it was Alduogwe that made that comment that, their members are there. We said, no, don't you. They even had to write an apology letter. Even Buhari were like, where were you? You've never spoken on this Chibok girls, but now you are using them for political gains. Don't use them for political gain. So we must put all of this thing. The SS crude account. Yes, the governors were fighting whatever. That's what you need leadership for. That's why you need to fight them. That's why you need to be there. We saw something as worse as Even to go and present, was it the 2015 budget? It was Okonjo-Iweala that did it. It wasn't Jonathan that did it. For the first time, a minister, which is usually the president that does it. We had a situation whereby Nigeria was already borrowing money to pay salaries. The economy, yes, had become number one because there was a rebasing that was done. Nollywood was added to it. So in as much as we had things, there were things that were gone. That was the worst government that we had as of that time. And when somebody fails, do you reward their failure? When somebody has said people are not citizens, people should not, do you now go and reward their failure, or you take another choice? And that's why I tell people, the same people who are now calling for, let them be a coalition. Citizens should come together. Let there be a coalition. Anything we can do to remove Tinubu. Have you forgotten that was the same mindset that people had in 2014? And they thought that the coalition, based on the things that we're saying and the kind of language they were saying and the kind of things they were saying they were going to do, we're going to do the right thing. I remember Soludo wrote a letter. Soludo wrote a letter. I tweeted all that letter. It's still on my Twitter handle. I broke it down little by little, where he said he needs to see the dollar, the number, the figure, the money attached to the promises that were being made. I think it was either Fayemi or Fashola, I'm not sure now which of them, that replied Soludo's email. Jonathan's people, I don't think they ever did. So, and as much as we blame, Hausa people have a saying, until and unless the lizard opens, there is no how somebody can enter. The same Jonathan that Nigeria sat down and voted for him. Jonathan was voted for in 2011, both in the north and in the southern part of the country. Northerners voted for Jonathan. Was it 2011? Yeah, no, not 2011. Yes, 2011. That particular one that Buhari, when there was riot, Buhari did nothing. People voted for him. Nobody wanted Buhari. People spoke about the fact that no, Buhari cannot be an option. But Jonathan, with his attitudes, with his failure, with the corruption, with the monies that were being stolen, monies that were supposed to be used to fight wars, were being used by the Suki gates. Dollars were being shared up and down. 20,000 people, 20,000 military were sent to the northeast. The northeast people were shouting, they can't see the 20,000 people. Election was going on in Ekiti. That was when they used the militarization. Is it General Momo or Major General Momo? They brought in military. Oshun they did not allow Adams Oshomole, who was a sitting governor, to fly. In a democracy, they said order from above. You might like Adams, you might not like him. That's not the issue. In a democracy that we call democracy, that people fought for and died for, we saw a situation whereby newspapers, they were going to, I don't know how come Nigerians have forgotten all of these things. They were going to newspaper stand and packing newspapers. We lived in military era. We saw people that died for the democracy that Jonathan was trying to truncate. The police went to National Assembly and they tear gassed them. That was the pictures that you have today. This man that is a chief of staff to the former governor of Lagos State, what's his name again? The former speaker of this state. He was one of those that were climbing the walls. Do you realize why they were climbing the walls? Because they had sent police to lock them out. Tambuwa had defected and said he was no longer part of PDP. He had joined APC and they wanted to remove him. That was why they climbed that wall. How do we forget so easily? Was it Obama? Was it the PSYOP? Was it the American influence that made him to do that? In a democracy, people were arrested. These day journalists, 4 of them were locked up. What was their crime? That they wrote an article, op-ed on Jonathan. Another 6 journalists were arrested. All these things I'm saying, don't believe me. I don't want anybody to believe me. As I'm saying them, go to Google and go and check and say, did these things really happen? This Aisha just making up this thing. 6 journalists were arrested. What was their crime? There was a letter that Obasanjo had written to Jonathan, and they were able to get that letter and they published it because they refused to give up their what do you call it now? Their sources. They were locked up. There was one called Umba, Commissioner Umba. I can't remember. Is it Umbu? No, not Umba. Umbu. AIT, Amechi of AIT, was arrested by the Commissioner of Police under Jonathan just because he said that Umbu was controversial. He was arrested. A young man took picture. He took picture. I can't. Is it something about citron or citron? I can't remember the way free citron. That was this thing then. Just because he took pictures. Let's not forget, because things have worsened. Yes, when Buhari came, it was the coalition people were voting for. The same coalition that they want to happen and say that, oh, let this happen, let this one be president, let that one be running mate. It's the same coalition. I see people now say, whatever we can do to remove Tinubu, let's do it. That was exactly what happened during Jonathan. And now that the other day I saw Peter Obi saying that he will not be part of any coalition that is just for power grabbing, and people were angry. But that was it. Is it you think I'm going to come out and cry over something and then be worried that, oh, politicians are going to hijack it? If you don't want politicians to hijack it, solve it. When we're doing BBOG, I remember my husband would say, what will it cost Jonathan for him to even leave Villa and just come to Aso? I come and meet you people and say, yes, we need to bring them down. When UK, US and whatever offer to rescue the guests, why did they stop them from rescuing them? Why? When these guys, they said they were going to be rescued, oh, they're going to do this, the next thing you find, there were a whole lot of things that were going on in that whole period. And then you're blaming citizens that came out and said, oh, the lives of some guests should matter. As every Nigerian, if it was the children of Jonathan, children of, what's his name, Namadi Sambo, and all of those governors and whatever that were taken, would any of us have doubted their abduction? Would any of us have said that Nigeria, in short, a lot of Nigerians, eye service, they will be the ones on the street. Children were killed. Jonathan did not postpone anything, but when his auntie died, he postponed his, not campaign, something that they were doing. But 48 children in Potiskum were killed. He didn't do anything. Was it those people that said this thing? When people were killed that did this, when immigration, this thing, it took, I think, about a year. Buniyadi. February 2014, Buniyadi, 29 boys were slaughtered. They brought them in the middle of the night where they were sleeping. They brought them down, they put them down in front of the other students, and they slit their necks with knives. What did Jonathan say? Nothing. Was it Obama that made Jonathan not to say anything? Was this the psyop? Was it the USAID? Was it the whatever? Jonathan is not a baby. Jonathan was complicit in everything that happened. He made somebody that was undesirable to be desirable. He made someone that Nigeria had said never, they are not going to go his way. He made them an option. What was APC? Was it the psyop? Was it the thing that made Jonathan to lose 5 governors? We forget all of these things. Jonathan wanted to remove Amechi to the extent that a whole sitting governor, they removed the security details. You do that in a democracy just because you're president, you're the CEO. Then you might not like Amechi today or whatever. But Jonathan's wife was fighting him. They wanted to remove him as the katakata you see in Rivers State did not start today. Jonathan's wife, Patience, wanted by all means to remove Amechi. He stood, he fought. They removed his security. Even in Anambra, when they arrested, they arrested El-Rufai. In 2022 election, they wanted to turn it and said that it was Peter Obi that arrested. No, it was DSS from above that arrested. All of these people, when they wanted to enter Osun State, they were all denied from entering Osun State. Amechi, them was either Osun or Ekiti. Then Amechi, Adams Oshomole, and all of that. They didn't. Was America the reason why PDP printed only one form? PDP said they had a gentleman agreement with Jonathan that he shouldn't run for 2015. Has any of you ever said that maybe Jonathan should not have run for that 2015 election? They said they had a gentleman agreement. I don't know. But even if you didn't have a gentleman agreement, why will you print only one form? PDP printed only one form in 2014, only one presidential form, and gave it to Jonathan, where others were saying they also had the right to contest. Why did they do that? All of these things infuriated people. Let me tell you something. Whether people want to believe it or not, because I see a lot of people whose hearts were hardened, who refuse to stand up for these girls that were abducted just because they are children of nobody. Every time they want to justify and say that, oh, things are worse now. So this was how they supported Jonathan. Everybody that supported Jonathan in 2015 is not different from anybody that supported Buhari in 2019. You saw a failure and you decided to reward failure, and failure became worse. If Buhari had been voted out of office in 2019 and things became bad, people will say, Shay, if they have allowed him, he would have corrected everything, would have done this. How is it that up till now we are not seeing that when you vote someone, that when you give somebody who has failed a chance, the person worsens? These are the things on ground. Whatever psyop, whatever this thing that went to all of those conspiracy theories and whatever, can we just look at the basic fact? We heard someone earlier on, Dr. Chidi spoke, and he said that a 10-year-old got missing. There was amber everywhere. But we have people who live in that same Canada. They will tell us here that when we are killed, that the president doesn't even need to say anything. Hello, Jack, Mr. Jack the builder. It's your turn. Thank you.
I wanted to just, please, just 60 seconds. I apologize, please.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to say just this. I just have one question. Before I ask the question, remember that during Bring Back Our Girls, and no matter how many times we protested Bring Back Our Girls, Jonathan, there were no deaths, for example. NSAS, if you look at NSAS, for example, there was a massacre. If you look at bad governance, there were killings and all of that. I would
what about hold on, the Nigerian citizen? What about Occupy Nigeria? There were deaths. I don't know why people say there were deaths.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That if you try and compare all of these protest events, right, you probably notice one thing. I say this. Jonathan, at least to some extent, allowed free speech.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Wait, that's why I'm using the word compared to. It's why each time I call Jonathan's period the time of our young democracy. We're just even trying to build.
See.
Okay, let me just summarize.
Round up. Let me see.
I'm asking this question and saying this. If you ask to choose today, based on hindsight, that's why the word hindsight. You have to choose today between Buhari and Jonathan. Will you still choose Buhari today?
I will not vote for Jonathan. So let me tell you something. Hold on, the Nigerian citizen. Hold on. I know the answer. Hold on, the Nigerian citizen. There is no how you are comparing Jonathan to what is happening now. It's just like us say, okay, who are we comparing Tinubu to now?
The numbers.
No, hold on now. This is what I'm saying. Right now, Tinubu is the worst we've ever had. Who are we comparing him with? You can't say that. You only compare with where you are coming from. As of that time, if we continue to, you see this thing that you're doing, well, we don't understand how dangerous it is, the Nigerian citizen. Because if we keep saying, oh, okay, we shouldn't have, that means what we are saying right now is that, oh, okay, just leave Tinubu because you don't know any worse can come. That's the psyche we keep sending. No, that's what it means. Hold on. No, look at it from my own point of view. After 2015 election, PDP went on their supporters rather went on this whole rampage where they were getting people to apologize for not voting Jonathan, right? Then in 2019, they wanted people to do what was done in 2014, which is even though Buhari was failing, take a chance with Atiku. But people didn't, because people had been reprimanded for the choice that they made in 2015 based on what was worse. So they just stayed at home. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you know that this thing you are saying that is a dangerous narrative. It's not what Nigerians did in 2023. We are not trying to tell Nigerians that yesterday, maybe tomorrow will be worse. Nigerians in 2023 knew that it can be worse if we do not change it. And Nigerians decided to queue behind Peter Obi.
Yeah.
So we are not trying to tell anybody that, okay, let us manage it. We know Nigerians we see clearly enough to know that Jonathan did better than anybody that APC had presented. That's why we decided. Of course, the story is different today. That's why I asked that question. Anybody that still tries to insist that Jonathan would have been worse should be able to also even know that today these guys are a lot worse. And
we know that. So the Nigerian citizen, because so you have taken, because now you've taken back to some this answers that need to be asked. Jack is there waiting. Jack the builder.
Okay.
So
okay,
that's
last thing. I want to finalize this. Please, Nigerians, the fight is not between ourselves. The fight is against demons that have kept us enslaved. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And you see, this ending that you did, that is what some people always bring back to make it the fight amongst ourselves. That's why we are still focused on this thing. You see, when you mentioned that nobody was killed during BBOG, yes, nobody was killed during BBOG, but people were killed during Occupy Nigeria. I remember in one of the arguments that we had with David Hude, he said, oh, it was just how many people? Oh, it's just because it's not your loved one, it's not your family member, you're not the one. So I have said this thing, that APC have worsened. Tinubu, Buhari was worse than Jonathan. Tinubu is worse than Buhari. That's it. The fact that Tinubu is worse than Buhari, there's no how we will say that, oh, because we used to buy dollar for 400 naira during Buhari, and dollar is now 1,008 during Tinubu, that Buhari was good. No, it can never be. It wasn't good. That's what I want us to understand. It's not about who, whatever. And when you are saying compare Jonathan to, why are you comparing Jonathan to the Tinubu, Jonathan to Buhari? When Jonathan was there, we have to compare Jonathan with Yaradua, compare Jonathan with Obasanjo. If you now want to go to the military, send it to the military. You can't just start comparing with back. How does that happen? That's why I asked the question, who do we compare Tinubu with right now? So that's the thing we are saying. Whatever has to be done, you compare, because the decision that is made as data, for me, I will never reward failure. If somebody has failed, I will not. And the thing is, and let me tell you something, where we got it wrong in 2015, it wasn't even that Buhari was brought in. It was that citizens were fighting themselves instead of fighting Buhari. In the early days of Buhari, he listened to when people were making demands. Because I was, even before he became president, before he was sworn in, I was making demands. People were attacking me. That is where we missed it up to today. We have not been able to collectively put our differences aside. I don't even understand how this is our differences. The Jonathan that was removed from office, Jonathan is eating dinner with Buhari. The Jonathan that was removed from office, Jonathan is eating dinner with Tinubu. The Jonathan that was removed from office is eating dinner with Atiku. All of them are laughing. It is you that was never in office. It is you that have nothing, that you are fighting your fellow citizen. Haba. How does that make sense? BBOG. Let me.
I didn't know those things mean something to you. You know.
No, hold on, village headmaster. The next person is Jack. I'm gonna go back to it when he's done, because we have people who haven't spoken. Honestly, I'm sorry I have hugging the mic, because for me, it's about. That's why I say ask questions. People should ask questions. I will put that, and I say anything I say, please don't believe me. Just go and check it out. You see, BBOG. People see our protest. You don't know what we went through. A lot of people don't know what we went through. When during NSAS, when they brought in thugs, when government brought in thugs to go and attack people, that was not the first time. The first time I encountered that was in May. I think it was May 30th. Was it April? No. April, May. It was May. Either May 30th or 29th, one of those. In 2014, when they used this Abuja mass transit bus to bring in thugs to come and beat us at Unity Fountain. They beat us, and it was under the supervision of the Nigerian police force. The Nigerian police force is always a tool of oppression from time immemorial. What they did first of all was that they told the thugs to take away all our cameras, the cameras of the journalists and people's phone. But there were still a few things that were done, and some of our members, they broke their arms. Morocco, his arm was broke. He had a dislocation. They beat us up. So they did that. Then they came. Jonathan's government banned protest. BBOG had to go to court. There is a court ruling today, because BBOG went to court, and we said that police have no right to ban us from protesting. But when people talk today, they say, oh, you people were not attacked. Let me tell you, as a sit-out coordinator at the Bring Back Our Girls movement, there was a time that we did not know where we were going to meet. What we did was that we will wait. Everybody, when it is time for our sit-out, we will all come to town. 30 minutes to the time of our sit-out. That is when I would have already chosen where we are going to meet for our sit-out. Then they will do mass what's it thing called? Mass messaging. They will send it to everybody. We will meet there, finish our sit out, and quickly leave that place. Sometimes when we are leaving is when the police were coming. Even when I discussed with the NSAS protesters, the organizers in Abuja, those were strategies that I explained to them. I said, this is what we had to do during Jonathan. But people they sit down and tell us that, oh, during Jonathan, nobody was doing you people anything. You people were just protesting. No, we were not just protesting. We were being attacked. We had to be running from one place to the other. We stopped staying in one place. Go ahead, Jack the Builder. Apologies, please. You've had to stay long.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Aisha. So first off, mine would be to start by I think I would want to thank you for your consistency over the years. For some of us that have known you for a long time and have followed all of these accusations, all of this bickering here and there. I mean, it was clear from day one that your allegiance was to Nigeria as a nation and not necessarily to any individual or
Daniel, bring back our guests have not stopped. The physical protest is what was stopped, and we stopped it during what do you call it now? During lockdown, NSAS. You continue.
It's just like what you're saying now, that the coalition that happened at the time, the only reason for the coalition was to remove Goodluck from office. My personal anger is that everybody, at least the major decision makers at the time, the likes of Rufai, the likes of Tinubu, Atiku, Amechi, Saraki, they all knew that Buhari had zero capacity. So why pick such kind of person to lead a coalition to rescue Nigeria? This is my personal anger. Do you understand? I didn't have an issue with the fact that people wanted Goodluck out of office because Goodluck was clearly incompetent. I mean, I said the two truths can actually
my mail is Aisha Yesufu at gmail.com. The way I spell my name. Check my Twitter, the heading is there.
Some of these comments where people say things like, Nigeria economy was growing at 7%, the biggest economy in Africa, all those balderdash. But people forgot that Nigeria was already borrowing money to service, the federal workers at the time. I remember immediately Buhari became the president. I remember that he introduced what we call bailout funds for states, where state governments across board were no longer able to afford to pay salaries. These were our realities, and we knew this. So the point the point is that Goodluck and his people had already run Nigeria aground at the time. Then you now brought somebody that has zero competence. So at the time, this is my only anger with whatever thing that happened at the time. Because, if Goodluck was replaced with somebody that had, any skill set whatsoever around leadership. Because for me, I don't know, but I personally believe that Buhari has to be the most incompetent leader any country will ever, see, in my opinion. I mean, I can't imagine anybody worse than him, honestly, because I felt that he had zero capacity whatsoever, and people knew. So why did you have to pick somebody because of simply, we must win an election, we want to remove Goodluck from office? That's what I'm against. And this is also my argument in the so-called coalition of 2027, working in 2029. If the coalition is about removing APC from office and removing Tinubu, then it's nonsense. If it's not about fixing Nigeria and changing our political culture, then all of these things should not, serious-minded people should not get involved. Do you understand? Because again, we all agree that where Nigeria is not where it should be. So, Madam Aisha, my own personal grounds with you would be, I think, again, some of you still have own Nigeria apology. And my apology, the apology I would ask is that, the whole energy around kicking, Goodluck out of office should have been general to people with character. Somebody that had something to offer the country. So, does it mean that you didn't, your judgment at the time of Buhari was wrong? You understand, as an individual. So are you going to admit that at the time you guys made a mistake for actually supporting this man? I don't have any issue kicking Goodluck out of office. That's not my problem. But my problem is the judgment of Buhari as an individual was wrong. And some of you that, champion this whole thing at the time, I've not been able to admit that, okay, we were actually wrong for, positioning Buhari at the time. That's my only, kind of problem with the whole arrangement. And again, I must commend your calmness in trying to answer some of the silly questions I've heard here. Some of those questions were never really, or they were not supposed to be asked. If only the individuals that were asking those questions had a phone and they could have, all of those things are, everything you said were in the public domain. And it's surprising when people come to spaces claiming that they are Gen Zs and they can talk, and they really don't, they show their ignorance, their stinking level of ignorance. It's the thing, I don't know how to say it, but again, I feel somehow I cringe on their behalf, because when you come to public spaces, claiming that you are educated, you're smart, but you exhibit a level of ignorance that you should actually be.
Hello, everyone. I see I can't even write. I'm trying to write. I can't see the place to write.
In public. Are you the mic at this point? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jack the Builder. So, thank you so much. So the thing that so when you say some of you that champion, so I'm wondering, at what time did Aisha Yesufu join Atiku, Tinubu, Amechi, and whatever to make a decision on who became APC? I was never part of it. So I think a lot of people, one of the things that I think a problem, which I didn't realize at that time until much later, was that a lot of people mistook me for Hadiza Bala Usman. So when they see Aisha Yesufu, they are talking, because there was a time PDP people were like, oh, Aisha, you are in APC. I'm like, I'm not APC, I'm not PDP. You are. Until one day, I think it was February, when Buhari had gone to Chatham House, and then somebody was like, oh, I met the delectable Aisha, and he was showing. I said, no, that's not me. That's Hadiza Bala Usman. So Jack, I was never part of those who chose Buhari. I saw Buhari being chosen the same way you saw Buhari being chosen. In fact, for a lot of us, it was Atiku we thought was going to get that ticket. Nobody expected Buhari to get that ticket. It was, and I've said this thing several times, people just don't want to hear it. I think maybe some of you know M. Kabrik. Anytime you see M. Kabrik on space, ask her. She's a friend of mine and a sister that we've been together since Bring Back Our Girls. Ask her, on what reason did we quarrel or ever on anything? She will tell you it was because of Buhari's candidacy. I never supported Buhari. If you will go back to my, in short, October 2014, please, if you want to just Google that, if you go to that, you see the tweet that I said Buhari can never win elections after what happened with 2011 protests. But you come to a place where things become so bad that you're desperate for that change, which is where some people are with the coalition. So when you talk about, oh, you knew that Buhari didn't have the competence, you brought him. I didn't bring Buhari in. I was just sitting there. BBOG had nothing to do with APC. APC people were the one, probably why they brought him, they felt if they could manage him, or they could control him, or they could what. For me, the reason I ended up voting that ticket, I remember there's a friend of mine, they were doing this thing where they were using, they will buy certain money, something, scratch card for Buhari's campaign and donate whatever. She gave me, and I said no. The least I decided was, when I decided, I was like, I will give the vote. And if you, that's why I love people to go, don't believe what I say, go and check my tweets during that period. The day I now said I have decided to vote Buhari, the whole of Twitter that day was on fire. Because many of his supporters, and that was in 2015, many of his supporters who, Aisha, you are too hard, you're always attacking him, you're always doing this. They were not they were clapping, they were doing a whole lot. And I think that came after, was it after or something after, when Osibajo had done that is, what do you call it, common sense revolution. I've told people, that ticket, it was Osibajo I voted for, not Buhari. So, and that is where people say, okay, Osibajo will take care of the economy, Buhari will take care of security. That was the mindset that people had at that time. And it was that desperation. Things were so bad in a way that Nigeria, unprecedented bad. So I find it hilarious when people are comparing. And by the way, we were also borrowing to service debts at that time. during Jonathan. So when people are now comparing and say, oh, Jonathan and Buhari, Jonathan and no, you don't do that, because who are you? Like I asked the question earlier, who are you comparing Tinubu to? You look back, you will say Jonathan and Yaradua, Jonathan and Obasanjo. That was what we had. And that is the reason why on this day today, when they are doing a coalition, and when Peter Obi came out to say that he's not going to do any coalition that is just for power grabbing, a lot of people were angry because they want to grab power. People have gone through that. Nobody is going to do that. And I have said today that if Peter Obi is the running mate of Atiku, Aisha Yesufu, I will work against that ticket. I don't have any power, but the small mouth I have and my social media handle, I will use it every day to speak against that ticket, because we cannot afford to put the worst foot at the front. That was what was done in 2014. So this was it. I don't know where, I don't know this power. I wish I had the power. You understand? I wish I had the power at that time to have had, if my voice was heard. Buhari was never an option. Atiku was the option for a lot of us. In short, there was, I say Atiku, Amechi. What is that? Buhari was the least. What they could have taken from Atiku, Amechi. What was the other one? This our governor. All of them now. If you carry them now, where do you put them? So it's every choice is made based on the what is available at the time that is available. It's not that, oh, people knew what you were telling me in hindsight. Now if you go this, why are we hindsighting? Why are we not looking at where we were coming from? Why are we not getting the best? Why do you have to get the worst? Why do we have to put somebody out there that is not the person just for the sake of 2023 election? A lot of people wanted to, they wanted their own. Okay, fine, we'll all suffer it. So yes, I get your anger. That was also my anger. The coalition was supposed to have been one of change that protected. Unfortunately, I'm sure even the people that put in, they thought they could control, what do you call it? Maybe control Buhari or get him to want to do the right thing. They didn't expect what happened. Most of them were thrown out. And you saw what happened. The APC of 2015 that Buhari used to win election was not the APC that was in government. As soon as he came into government, he went back to his CPC default that had never done anything. So yes, people were desperate. People needed to remove what was a catastrophe at that time. Now people are saying no. That's why a coalition is not flying. People are saying no, we don't just want a coalition for coalition's sake. We want a coalition that is going to work. Otherwise, people are going to stay. But like the last person had, I think the last person, or was it the Nigerian citizen that said, at the end of the day, every year we do the same thing, which is the fact that we come attacking each other while they are doing coalition. Right now, we the people are supposed to be doing a coalition. We're supposed to form a voting bloc. We're supposed to give criteria and say these are the things we want to see in whoever it is that want to run for A, B, C, D, E, F. But guess what? We are not doing it. We're fighting each other. They are doing it. And at the end of the day, we will not say that, oh, we are angry at them. Why will you be angry at them? They put in the work. We haven't put in the work. Until we put in the work, I don't think we have any moral justification to be able to call them out on whatever it is that they choose to decide. And unfortunately, in Nigeria, we don't have independent candidates. It's whatever the party throw at us that you have to choose from. I think, yeah, go ahead, George, before I bring in the next set of speakers.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I want to just quickly chip in. This issue of most people, complaining that why Buhari was a choice in 2015, 2016. Because people tend to forget, like we repeated right now, that at that time, Jonathan was the worst that Nigeria had experienced up to that point. And so we were looking for alternatives. And in fact, people were also looking at the fact that Buhari had a past as a military president, a military leader who was very disciplined with the and for those people who knew at that time. That was exactly why we had war against the discipline, why people even forming, you're able to assemble yourself in banks and all that. So that was there. And then people also voted because Osinbajo was his running mate. Now, one other thing that people are forgetting also, the the electoral process that brings these people into the forefront, right? Because you have to think of the primaries. Nigerians have to be more concerned about the primaries. How do these people get there? Because if
Can I talk now?
Hold on, please.
If the electoral system had not presented people like Buhari or presented
All right.
people cannot finish, then people would have other options. So that is why Nigerians have to.
Hello, is everyone hearing me now?
Yeah, Toby, it's not your turn to speak. I'm just bringing in speakers. There's a queue. Sorry, please. I will let you know when it's your turn.
I'll be done.
Yeah, George.
So people have to be thinking of the electoral reform process as well as the voting process with IRF and the papers. Those have to be strengthened. If we don't get those two right, because at the end of the day, another Buhari is in the offering. We're going to have somebody like that because the political party has presented that person. Then we will have no choice. So that's what I'm saying. For people to be saying in Aisha, you had the choice between Jonathan and Buhari. There is no comparison. We are doing apples and oranges there because there is no antecedent. There is no precedence to that. You needed an option, that's what you had to take on. You didn't even know I was going to double, except for the fact that he had the rights of Hussein by his side. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And just to add that if those governors that had left PDP had not left PDP, those people that left PDP and formed the coalition, there probably wouldn't have been anything coming out of it. At the end of the day, citizens are left with whoever it is that the parties choose. And that's why we need to also begin to find ways to ensure that we are able to make a difference right before we get there. I remember in 2015, they were saying it was a choice between the devil and the Red Sea. That was what people. It's not as if people didn't know things were bad, but yeah, that was it. It was said it's a choice between the devil and the Red Sea. So people knew they were bad, but because of the things that had happened and the arrogance of PDP, telling people that it's 50 years, the hubris, nobody can remove them. Just the arrogance of APC that you have today, and then if they are removed now, tomorrow people will say this and this and that and whatever. Priscilla. Can you go ahead and speak? After that, we have Akin Eroms. I'm so sorry. I think in the next listen, I'm not going to say anything anymore because by 6, I need to go off. I have a class to join. So the ones that I've brought in now, Priscilla, please go ahead. After Priscilla, we have Akin Eroms, Nedu, and then Daddy O.
Okay, thank you so much, sis, and good evening to everybody here. This first subject that we have of what happened in 2014. Listen, I've come in halfway through and listening to so far what I've heard, I keep hearing us not willing to take responsibility. I'm going to just ask us to do something very quickly. Donald Trump today, he's doing all of what he's doing, and I keep describing it as the man came into office and he's throwing grenades everywhere and everybody's shouting and screaming. But guess what? Americans are happy. Why? The things he told them he was going to do is what he's doing. Now, they spent the last 8 years telling us that this man was not fit to be president. They called him illegitimate. They told us all manners of things about his character. I mean, there are some of you here today who actually believe that, he's a criminal and he doesn't have the right to be a president. Until you get to the truth, you will understand that it was all done just to keep him from holding.
Jonathan was the worst
what I have to say.
that Nigeria had
problem is that
in 2014, 2015. Buhari became worse. Now Tinubu is now worse.
What is in front of us as Nigerians? I can say that for free. During those years, I used to run programs here in London on Ben TV, and I used to contribute to conversations on many channels. And you will hear people will be attacking me. Yes, at that time we said it was a choice between the devil and the deep blue sea. But I am sorry to repeat this. Buhari was not an option in any way, shape, or form. No matter what he did in the past, we failed. our assessment to look at what he had done presently at that time. For 30 years, this man talked about this farm that he had. He talked about his cows that were gay, that did not die, they did not increase. He carried on the same message and sold us the same things, and people did not stop for a moment to say, surely there must be more to it than this. I remember asking questions of people to say, okay, this man, every time he opens his mouth to speak, is anger, is war. He's always talking about, blood will flow and all of that. How do you feel included as a Nigerian listening to him? If you're from the south, you're from the east, you're from the west and the north, do you feel included in his statements? What does he say that is inclusive for us to be able to say, indeed, he's a choice, because you're included in what he's saying? We weren't listening. We weren't paying attention. People were getting carried away in what, their kingsman was saying. Yes, we talk about the APC, no matter how you look at it. Then, I remember, I used to call them disgruntled PDP members. They didn't offer anything new. They were exactly the same people that were just angry with PDP and then they went to form a party. So, of course, they were not offering us anything new. But we don't take time to assess. We don't take time to ask the right questions. We don't take time to say, what is this person here to do? Now they're talking about coming together and doing their coalition. And some of us have already taken sides. And it's not as though we're not familiar with their antecedents or, what they've done in the past or what they're likely coming to do. But some of us have taken sides and we're ready to go with the flow of some politician that is not offering you anything that is going to help your life. We need to stop this. Let me tell you a little bit about Donald Trump. I remember years ago when I first heard of him, I was actually a teenager.
Hello, Priscilla. Because the space will soon be closing, and there are quite a number of hands.
So let me make it very quickly. I'm going to shut down. I'm going to go soon. I first heard of him as a teenager, and I heard of him as a billionaire. He had a plane, he had a tower, he had this, he had that. When he came up as president, he was still a billionaire. Over the years, he was still maintained his wealth and maintained his status. I also recall that he was everybody's friend, the Hillarys, the Obamas, and all of that. I saw him associating with all of that. So when the narratives came to tell us that he was whatever he was, I remember one day saying it on a show and everybody went silent. What did I say? This man employs so many people, over 20-something thousand people in America. His children are always with him, so he's a family man. Yeah, the wives come and go. These things happen, but his children, he does not leave them behind. They all work in his company. He also ensures he's everybody's friend and all whatnot. I looked at all of that and I thought, why is it that just as he wants to become president, he's suddenly become the evil man that we should never look at? We need to look behind. So here's the thing. Let's stop fooling ourselves. Let's begin to stop all of this, he's my tansman, he's this, he's that, because that doesn't benefit you. Oshibachi was not a choice either. Go and look into his history, the things that he agreed to. Buhari was not a choice. Go and look into his history. Let's take time and question people properly and look into what they're truly coming to offer. Do they include you in that offering, or are you willing to be a useful tool in the hands of your enemy, and then tomorrow you start looking for where to jackpot to? I'm going to end there. There's a lot more to be said. But let's not kid ourselves. Let's not pretend. It is up to us to do what is needed in order to move our country forward. Nobody's going to come out and do it for us. Why did they vote for him in America? If you listen to them carefully, they'll tell you, with him, the economy was better. When the Kamala and the co came in, some people will say, oh, wait, because she's black. She wasn't black. She's Indian. But some people, for that reason, they wanted to vote for him. But people said no. I had more money in my pocket. The question is, when you vote next, what is going to be the reason for your voting? So let's think about what the real things are. I don't agree that Buhari was an option. He never was, and there is nothing we can say to justify it. Nothing. Yes, good luck at the time we experienced it, it was not good. But when you compare, we have to compare the two. What he was offering and what Buhari was offering really was this. There was no option there. So let me rest. Another day we can go into this. But let's stop doing what we're doing. Let's stop pretending about the truth, and let's really take time and look into people and what they're offering. What are their antecedents? Who are they? Are they likely to work in your interest, or they're likely to work for themselves? Questions we should answer. Thank you so much, Aisha. I yield.
Oh my goodness.
Madam Aisha, good afternoon. I've heard a lot on this space. I don't know how to even follow behind the last speaker, but I think I would stick to my train of thought here. I will just make a passing comment. I don't see how you disagree with APC, Buhari, Tinubu, and then still choose to be an avid Trump supporter. But let's leave that for another space.
I tell you.
I've read a lot of comments, seen a lot of reactions, and I think there's something we do as Nigerians where we shift blame to other people. It's very unfair. It's not going to change, and I don't think I have the magic wand to make people behave differently. We always like to project failures on other people.
I don't know what's
and leave
happening.
individual responsibility out of the equation. 2014.
The space has gone. I don't even have control of it anymore.
Done from 99.
I'm trying to get. I can't see it.
Explosive GDP growth. Even as a young Nigerian in diaspora, I was even interviewing with jobs to move back to Nigeria. Personal story: I got offered a job as a service engineer with Shell. My salary was going to be about $5,000 a month, and I did comparison with my income in America of $4,800 a month. Nigeria was a far, far, far better choice, right? 20 plus years later, almost, you can't even make that kind of analogy because it doesn't exist.
Oh no,
So
where's my space?
Yes, as much as I wanted Jonathan to win 2015, and I saw Buhari as old wine, a new bottle, the repackaging. A lot of my friends, did some of the PR work to sell him to young people. Again, the Bring Back Our Girls campaign did not help the Jonathan regime. And nobody should say BBOG was packaged to bring down Jonathan. It was an independent, isolated issue. So it's very unfair. It's like, seeing some of us participating in the NSAS and then coming up later with a revisionist theory that it was done to bring down Buhari. Those were two separate issues. We have failure in governance. It's failure in governance. I can't see.
Oh Lord have mercy.